against Arsenal. They scored 4 against Liverpool and 5 against Burnley as the players dropped to one knee here. Our referee, Andre Mariner, gave it a short blast on the whistle. Again, this in support of the Black Lives Matter campaign, and the music just drops into silence in the stadium around us, and everyone rises again to their feet. Andre Mariner looks at his watch, blows his whistle. I start my stopwatch, and away we go. 5 against Burnley they scored, Karen, so it's either 6 against Southampton or, as Steve, our engineer, pointed out, none against Southampton, because they're yet to draw a blank since the restart. Manchester City's team: Ederson in goal, Joao Cancelo at right back, Aymeric Laporte and Eric Garcia, the 2 centre-backs. So the 19-year-old Spaniard Garcia keeps his place ahead of John Stones on the bench and Nicolas Otamendi as well. Alexander Zinchenko's at left back. Southampton have a first attack. Shea Adams has been caught offside. Fernandinho back from suspension in central midfield. David Silva, the captain, alongside Bernardo Silva ahead of Fernandinho. Mahrez and Sterling wide, with Gabriel Jesus through the middle. Talent, speed, everywhere you look in this Manchester City team. Light blue shirts, playing from right to left in this first half. Ederson drills a low ball, finds its target. That's Bernardo Silva, brings it forward down the right. His pass is slightly behind Mahrez, who goes back to collect it, slides it forward to Silva. Silva's cross in, very nearly reached Jesus, and Southampton have eventually scrambled that away. So straight away, Southampton under pressure as Manchester City attack down the right. Pep Guardiola standing in the sunshine, casual look. He's got that blue, dark blue Manchester City hoodie on with Citizens, the club nickname, written on the back of it, which I'm sure is spelled C-I-T-Y-Z-E-N-S, the little play on words. Hands in pockets, already barking out a couple of instructions. I'll give you the Southampton team in just a second. Real breeze blowing around the St Mary's Stadium as well. Sterling is trying to turn away from Kyle Walker-Peters, who had full hold of his arm. Sterling's complaining about that. He didn't get the free kick. Alex McCarthy, with the wind behind him, just gives a very gentle swish of his right boot, and the ball goes sailing 60-70 yards downfield. Zinchenko's headed to his right, puts Cancelo under a bit of pressure. Cancelo hoofs his clearance high in the air, headed forward by Bednarek. Ward-Prowse jumps for a loose ball. David Silva waits for it to come down. Fernandinho heads it forward. You can probably hear that wind gusting around the stadium on our microphones here. Cancelo in with the tackle. Forward to Bernardo Silva. Jesus making a run through the middle. Silva just took a little too long. Fernandinho tries to win it back. 50-50 with Danny Ings. Ings feels he should have had a free kick and doesn't get the decision. So that is one aggrieved player on each side. Walker-Peters is going to have his hands full, Karen Carney, against Raheem Sterling.
He is, yeah. It's been a good start from Manchester City. They look quite aggressive. I mean, Fernandinho is back in that midfield role, and they're really pushing for it. Like you said, Walker-Peters is going to be up against Sterling and Zinchenko. So it'll be a good little battle against each other. 4th Premier League commentary on BBC Radio 5 Live. Phone lines will be opening, I think, at about half-time to speak to Emma Jones and Robbie Savage. Loads to talk about tonight on 606 08085 909 693. As ever, the number to dial. Sterling in quite a bit of space on the left. Low pass to Silva, David Silva. Forward to Mahrez, on to Sterling. Sterling on the dribble. Offside, Raheem Sterling. He was trying to beat Walker-Peters down by the byline, but the flag went up and the whistle blew. Southampton's team then: Alex McCarthy in goal, in bright pink. Kyle Walker-Peters at right back, Ryan Bertrand at left back. I saw Ryan Bertrand having a good chat to Kevin De Bruyne as they came off the field after the warm-up, and I presume they would have been together in Chelsea days at some point, possibly. Jack Stevens into the back four for Vestergaard alongside Jan Bednarek, the Pole, this evening. Stuart Armstrong, James Ward-Prowse, Oriol Romeo and Nathan Redmond, with Danny Ings and Shea Adams up front. Southampton in the red and white stripes have given the ball away inside the Manchester City half, and again a real speed and intent about Manchester City, the way they've started the game. Gabriel Jesus runs out of room. The ball is floated forward by Southampton. Laporte brings it down on his thigh, plays it across to Garcia, who's not a big hulking centre-back. He's quite a slight, relatively small figure, but a lovely player on the ball, as you'd expect for Manchester City. Offside flag up again.
I think, against Mahrez. That's 3 offside decisions against him in the first 4.5 minutes of the game.
Well, he's good from the Southampton back line, keeping, I think there, Stevens, he's holding that back line up, and we're going, look, we're staying strong, let them run in behind, we'll hold a good line. And like you said, they've been offside 2 or 3 times now.
Karen Carney with us here at the St Mary's Stadium, where it's very warm in the sunshine down pitch side. It's really quite fresh. Sitting at the back of the Itchen stand here, so cool because it sits opposite the River Itchen here in Southampton. McCarthy clears long, Ings with the flick on, looking for the run of Adams. Big opportunity for Shay Adams this evening. Edison draws him in, takes a touch, bit casual with the clearance. Armstrong with a header. David Silva really wanted that, climbed high to win the header. Ball drops outside the City penalty area. Fernandinho nods it on. Ings picks it up 25 yards from goal, scoops it forward. Chance for Shay Adams, drives it with his right foot, actually finds Redmond at the far post. Redmond turns it back, looking for Ings. Southampton trying to get a shot away, and Manchester City eventually get it clear and then very quickly come on the counter. Mahrez through the middle of the pitch to Sterling. Sterling has Jesus on his left. Brilliant work from Kyle Walker-Peters, who stuck with Sterling, timed the challenge beautifully and knocked him off the ball with strength as well. He knocks it back here to Jack Stevens, closed down by Sterling. Poor ball forward from Stevens, intercepted by Zinchenko. Little flick pass in field. Fernandinho looking for the run of Mahrez through the middle. Bernardo Silva gets on the ball for City. David Silva goes dancing through the Southampton midfielders. Ward-Prowse makes an interception. Quite an open game in the early stages here at the St Mary's Stadium. Nathan Redmond now goes skipping past Cancelo. Cancelo didn't like that, so comes hurtling back to try and make a challenge. Ings turns and passes to Armstrong. He's tackled, and Southampton get the free kick, and the football's been good at the start of the game, Karen Carney.
It has. It was a bit end-to-end there. Goalmouth scramble there for Southampton. Che Adams, I really want him to do well. You know, he's come into the team. It's been a tricky first season for him here after his big money move from Birmingham. He had that chance, he just scuffed that. He just took his eye off of it and put it across the goal. It was a scramble, and then you leave yourself open when Man City win it and they try and counter an attack on you. But Kyle Walker-Peters, as you said earlier, his pace got back and helped his team out. It was Sterling and Jesus, they were all on the counter attack, so quite open considering the first 7 minutes.
Free kick's a long way out. Redmond's going to try and hit a dipper. It hits the wall and goes looping up high over the bar. With the breeze that is here, though, Karen, I think first half it's behind Southampton. Why not have a dip from there? It could swerve all over the place.
Absolutely. I mean, you don't want to be giving free kicks away today with Ward-Prowse, and you saw there Nathan Redmond with their ability from dead ball situations, so and with the wind as well, so I think Manchester City have got to be a little bit careful. Nothing around that 18-yard box, because Ward-Prowse is, you know, his talent is second to none.
Very good on the corners as well, and he's very deliberate. We were talking about this in our last Southampton commentary. 2 bounces of the ball, 5 deliberate steps back, then a little jog on the spot, left arm in the air, right-footed delivery into the penalty area, near post, headed behind. Last touch came off a City player, so it'll be another Southampton corner. Danny Ings starts on 18 Premier League goals. The race for the Golden Boot has Jamie Vardy on 21, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang on 19, Ings on 18, Salah on 17, Mane on 16, and Raheem Sterling's there on 13 as well in the mix. Ward-Prowse with another corner, a little bit deeper this one, headed away to the edge of the box. Armstrong comes and leaps and chests it down, back to Ward-Prowse, cross into the far post, headed high in the air. David Silva underneath it, tries to get a volley away for Manchester City. Jesus jumps into Romeo. Romeo gets a cross in, nodded away by Garcia. Sterling tackled strongly by Bednarek. Fair challenge, took the ball, and Southampton have it on the halfway line. So a decent start by the home team, but the home form, as we were saying before the game, has been woeful. Played 16, won 4, drawn 2, lost 10, conceded 33 goals, more goals than any other team at home this season.
Well, I think that the 9 they conceded here adds up to a lot, but I think that was a massive turning point for Southampton. I think they lost their way, playing at times 3 at the back and quite standoffish, and I think that was a turning point where, no, we're going to go back to what we were good at. Good shape, pressing, being aggressive, being front-footed, and since then that's what they have been. I mean, they haven't really got the results at home, but the performances have been a lot better, and that's why, you know, they are safe and can effectively kind of rest that they're secure this season.
Southampton almost caught in the Manchester City press. Fernandinho with a quick challenge on Ward-Prowse. Long ball forward from Bertrand to Ings. He flicked it on, but there was no one there. So Manchester City have it again. They're 23 points behind the champions Liverpool after Liverpool's 2-0 win over Aston Villa. We'll hear from Jurgen Klopp and Dean Smith, the respective managers, at half-time. Burnley 1, Sheffield United 1, Newcastle 2, West Ham 2 earlier on today in the Premier League. Oh, and Raheem Sterling's just taken a late knock in the back. He was fouled. Walker-Peters came through the back of him, and then as Sterling went down, I think Walker-Peters has accidentally kneed him in the small of the back, because it didn't actually happen in the challenge. Sterling goes down. Just having another look at that, Karen. Free kick's been taken, and actually Zinchenko had a pop from 60 yards there because he thought he might catch McCarthy out. It goes well wide. Southampton goal kick, and Sterling's just a little sore there, isn't he, holding the bottom of his back?
Yeah, I think he just got a knee into his back, and it's not a nice little one, but I'm sure run it off. He's limping a little bit, but another minute or so when the pain goes, he'll be fine.
Walker-Peters clears with his left foot. Lively first 10 minutes here at the St Mary's Stadium. Ederson, 5 yards outside his penalty area. Ings and Shea Adams are both within sort of 6-7 yards of him, but he's so confident on the ball. He's almost sort of trying to draw them in like the boxer, saying, come and have a swing.
They play like three, three at the back. He's like this,
look at him,
the holding midfielder. He's coming out. He's literally...
If he loses it there, Karen...
He won't, though. He's that good.
Yeah. He's the third centre-back there. Manchester City play one across to Laporte. Chests it down inside his own half. They're trying to pry Southampton apart. Strong challenge by Bednarek on Jesus. Referee says he took the ball. Redmond brings it forward, looking for the run of Ings. Laporte gets a touch. The ball hit him and deflects to his goalkeeper Ederson, who's allowed to pick it up. David Silva takes it from Ederson. Back to Zinchenko, to Sterling, to David Silva. Quick Silva stuff from Manchester City. Bernardo Silva trying to run through the challenge of Bertrand, and he's tackled. It's end-to-end. Here's Redmond again on the halfway line. As that wind just gets up again, you can probably hear it again whipping around the stadium here. Ward-Prowse. Little 1-2 with Walker-Peters. Back to Jack Stevens. Southampton got to keep their cool on the ball here as Manchester City close in. Southampton 0, Manchester City 0. Stevens with his right foot. Cross to Romeu. Wide right to Walker-Peters on loan from Tottenham. There he's getting closed down and suddenly was running out of options. They've come back to the goalkeeper McCarthy, who in the home game against Arsenal, when trying to play out from the back, gave an easy one to Eddie Nketiah. And Arsenal got themselves in front. Bertrand gives it the big heave-ho. Up in the air it goes. Laporte heads it forward. Drops down inside the Southampton half. Romeu chests it down. Comes scuttling across the Southampton half from left to right. It's played back to Alex McCarthy. Plays a ball up the middle of the pitch. Stevens to Ward-Prowse. Southampton playing City at their own game. Romeu didn't see Sterling coming. He's lost it. Fernandinho to Sterling. Floated ball wide to Mahrez. Bertrand is able to get ahead on that and half clear it for Southampton. Mahrez plays it back to Cancelo, and Manchester City will rebuild just inside the Southampton half. Here's Zinchenko, number 11 on his back. Little give and go for Sterling. Sterling doesn't give it back to Zinchenko though. Instead he sweeps his pass back to Laporte. Laporte looks to his left and finds Zinchenko with a bouncing ball. 2 touches from Zinchenko. Lovely pass with the eye of a needle to Sterling. Sterling looking to slide one down the line for David Silva. Intercepted. Southampton on their toes. It's 0-0.
If I was Jose Mourinho, I'd be going, why did we send Walker-Peters out on loan? As a, he's playing against Sterling today, and I know it's only 15 minutes or so in, but he can hold his own. And I'm thinking, why would we let him go?
Here come Manchester City again. Southampton again make an important challenge. Redmond's ball up the middle of the pitch finds Ings. Ings turns into space inside his own half and then slices the pass badly. He was looking for the run of Armstrong through the middle, couldn't find him. Straight to Ederson. Ederson looks up and without hesitation rolls it out to Fernandinho. Across to Zinchenko. Little 1-2 with David Silva. Into Fernandinho. Across the halfway line into the Southampton half. Little back-heeled flick from Bernardo Silva. Cancelo to Mahrez. They exchange a 1-2. Cancelo back to Garcia. Garcia across the halfway line to Laporte. Raheem Sterling comes jogging back down that left-hand touchline to offer himself, but instead it comes back to Ederson. Ederson out to Eric Garcia. Southampton in there defensive shape, 4-4-2, as Manchester City have the ball. David Silva to Zinchenko across to Laporte, who's in the left-back position here. And Zinchenko's tucked infield a little. Karen Carney.
I think I was just going to say there, Zinchenko, we've seen him all season pretty much when he plays left-back for Man City. He goes in and plays as a centre midfielder. He's literally on the centre spot there, and that's your left-back.
Yeah. And
Fernandinho drops in and makes a back three, and then Laporte comes out and kind of plays on the left side of three. So that's their the Pep tactical thing where Zinchenko goes and overloads in that midfield area. Because he used to play, I remember I went and watched him when we were away with England. I went and watched him play in Holland, and he's actually in number 10. He was the best player on the pitch. Now he's turned into a left back. It's what Pep does to players.
It's exactly what Karen's talking about at the moment, though. Fernandinho is one of three centre-backs with Zinchenko pushed forward into midfield. Laporte brings it forward. And all the time we've been talking, Manchester City have just been keeping the ball and Southampton have been chasing, but all in the Manchester City half. Quarter of an hour played. Southampton 0, Manchester City 0. Pep Guardiola today, by the way, trying to avoid losing 3 away games in the league in a row for the first time in his managerial career. Che Adams from range, over Ederson's head, and scores his first goal for Southampton. It's a spectacular one. Ederson was well off his line. Manchester City gave the ball away, and Che Adams took his chance, and from 40 or even 50 yards, he's floated it over Ederson's head and given Southampton the lead. Southampton 1, Manchester City 0.
Oh, what a goal. That's your first goal. What a goal that is, and against Manchester City. I mean, we talk about Zinchenko playing in that middle. He'd give it away. It's poor from him, really. And Che Adams, he just notices that Ederson's off his line, and I don't even know how far out he is, but his first thought is, as soon as he wins it, he's just chipped him, and he's curled it as well. He's put curl and bounced over Ederson, and straight away everyone's turned to Zinchenko, especially Sterling. He's had a right go at him, but it's probably, what, 35 yards out, maybe?
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah.
Maybe more. But it's a wonderful finish, the composure and the vision. And I'm happy for him, because it's been a difficult year for him, and what a first goal that is. Yeah, first goal in 30 Premier League appearances for Che Adams. 30 appearances total, I beg your pardon. But, you know, that wasn't the strike of someone who was lacking confidence, because he hit it so sweetly, immediately saw the opportunity, hit with a bit of in-swinging curl, and the only fear there as it bounced was that the wind might take it over the crossbar, and it just crept in underneath. Not Ederson's fault, because he's come forward into his position and Manchester City are playing out from the back. But Zinchenko was just sloppy, he was caught, and it gave Che Adams the chance, and it means Southampton have the lead. When it happened as well, like I said, Sterling was absolutely going nuts at him, saying to him, "What you doing?" And he didn't check his shoulder. No. He just turned into Ward-Prowse, who won it, and I actually thought it was Ings that had the audacity to do it, and then I looked again, I was like, it's Che Adams. Fair play to him, having that, like you said, to have that confidence when you probably not been playing regularly, come to a new team, a lot of money, haven't scored, but the Southampton bench all jumped up, so he must be popular here, and they want him to succeed at this football club, which is really nice. Yeah, the problem Zinchenko's got after the mistake as well is that he's right on the left-hand touchline, right in front of his manager, who is standing down there brooding at the moment. He won't be happy. Raheem Sterling wasn't happy. I was just saying there, Pep Guardiola in his time at Barcelona, Bayern Munich and Manchester City has never lost 3 in the league away from home on the trot. Could happen this evening. They lost at Manchester United before lockdown, lost at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea, and they're 1-0 down against Southampton here. And that is some goal from Che Adams. Match of the day 2 tonight, 10:30, BBC One. Zinchenko, wide to Sterling. Maybe not on talking terms at the moment, they are on passing terms. Sterling's lost it, and Southampton clear. So they've scored early in the game. Be interesting to see what the Southampton approach is from here on in. I guess don't change, Karen, just keep going the way they're going. No, they were doing everything spot on. They're in their 4-4-2 shape when Manchester City have it, and as soon as they win it, they try and penetrate and counter-attack as quick as possible, and so far it's worked. But my instant thought again is Manchester City's leadership. You know, where's that leadership? I just watched this attack. Yeah, Zinchenko's got it on the left. He's going to try and make amends. Bringing it forward, plays it infield to the skipper, David Silva, across to Fernandinho.
25 yards out. Quick pass to Morris. Will want to get it onto that left foot if he can. No. Outside ball to Cancelo. Cross into the near post, cleared. Fernandinho has a swing and misses. Zinchenko takes a touch. Low ball to his left. David Silva drives it across goal behind for the corner. Manchester City have been stung into action. So 4-0 winners. They were absolutely brilliant on Thursday night. There was none of that sloppiness there. They came out hungry and came out to prove a point. That was just a poor mistake at the back from Zinchenko and a brilliant finish from Che Adams. Manchester City have a corner. Real treat to watch this man, David Silva, live. We've really enjoyed him over the last 10 years in the Premier League. Here's his corner, headed away, only as far as Zinchenko. Central position, 35 yards out. Work to Cancelo on the right. Sterling, wide on the right. 2 Southampton defenders in front of him. Everyone at the moment inside the Southampton half. And if you are just tuning in to BBC Radio 5 Live, Southampton lead Manchester City by 1-0. Che Adams has scored his first goal for the club, having cost £15 million from Birmingham in the summer. Some goal as well. Here's Mahrez on the right. Is he going to work it back onto that left foot? He is, but he's been forced away from goal by James Ward-Prowse. He's happy to go back here to Laporte. Laporte across to Zinchenko. Zinchenko plays the 1-2 with Jesus. Cross again to Garcia, who looks very confident, comfortable on the ball. Low ball from Cancelo into Bernardo Silva, into the penalty area. Was he tripped? No, he's thrown himself to the floor. Andre Mariner says no penalty, but he doesn't believe that's a dive. Bernardo Silva's still complaining. Southampton have cleared, and it's out for a Manchester City throw. Andre Mariner blows the whistle. Video assistant referee will have a look. We'll get Karen to have a look as well.
I mean, he's got the ball and he's driving into the penalty area and he's between 2 players, I think Bednarek and Romeo, and he's flicked it through them. The ball's gone, he's gone, and they've kind of sandwiched him, and he's gone down. I think if the ball wasn't kicked so far ahead, it might have been a penalty, but I don't think he had control, and I think he went looking for it. I'm sure VAR have had a look as well, and they've let it go on, so I think it was overall a good decision. Yeah,
there was a brush of the knees with Oriol Romeo, but I think, Karen, you described it perfectly. He was looking for it. It wasn't convincing. And it remains Southampton 1, Manchester City 0. Edison playing across his 6-yard box to Laporte. Laporte out from the back, wide left to Zinchenko. So we're heading towards the first drinks break in the game, as Bernardo Silva, who couldn't win the penalty, has space to run into inside his own half. Drives forward, plays it down the right to Cancelo. Then Bernardo Silva again, lovely lofted ball over the top. Jesus waiting in the middle. Cancelo takes a touch, got Mahrez to aim at as well, still going. Back onto his right foot, drives it hard. Oh, Jesus at the far post, couldn't control the finish. It's gone straight up off his boot and over the crossbar. Could easily have ended up in the back of the net.
It's a good chance. Cancelo's done very, very well down that right-hand side. Drives in, chops back, has the patience to try and wait for players, cuts it back again, and then absolutely fizzes the ball across the goal. And Jesus is on the back post, but I think there's so much pace on it. I think it is actually a very difficult chance for him to try and toe it in with his left foot, but it's more positive for Manchester City. And what Southampton have done very well is they've defended down the sides exceptionally well, you know, with Walker-Peters and Bertrand have done very well and have won the battles, and that was probably the only time Man City have got the upper hand down that side.
First player Pep Guardiola goes to is Raheem Sterling. I just wondered if he was going to go to Zinchenko. The thing is, Karen, he doesn't need to say to Zinchenko, you made a mistake. Zinchenko knows that, and Pep Guardiola wants his teams to play out from the back. It was just sloppy. I mean, you've noticed, haven't you, and I know other people have mentioned this, these water breaks are actually more tactical breaks, aren't they, for the coaches?
I think I saw the stat this morning when I think Burnley were playing at, I think in the first 20 minutes, I think, can't remember, someone had 33% and then 60%, and after the water break it flipped the other way, the opposite. So it's just a good opportunity, because after 20 minutes you can actually see what the other team presents to you, whereas before the game you can only predict and you scout and reports, but after 20 minutes you can see. So as a manager then you can go, right, they showed us this, fix it and change it, and then you see the momentum shift after these water breaks. But going back to your Zinchenko point, sometimes as a manager and as a player, when you've made a mistake, actually being shouted at is what you want. You don't want the old, I'm not angry, I'm disappointed. You know, that parent thing, which makes you feel even worse. That sometimes when a manager kind of doesn't do that to you, you're like, oh man, I feel even. I'd rather them have a go at me.
Yeah, talking about the whole parent thing, Karen made the very funny point as well when Raf Hasenhüttl arrived today, because he looked like the dad coming into the office, didn't he, Karen? With his satchel and his briefcase and coming in for a 9 to 5 as Armstrong brings the ball forward for Southampton, who after the drinks break pick up quickly, but they've lost the ball to Manchester City. Garcia's got to be careful. Plays back to Edison wide right, and infield now to Fernandinho slightly loose first touch, but gets his pass away to David Silva. Silva plays back to Cancelo, just about finds David Silva again. Cross to Fernandinho, bit of space for Zinchenko to run into here down the inside left channel. Low pass to David Silva, looking for the layoff for Jesus. Not quite on the same wavelength there. Shea Adams collects it for Southampton, plays the ball forward with his right foot, and City intercept. So if he was the dad going to the office, what did you say you were, Karen?
I was the schoolgirl with my backpack and my packed lunch. So
exactly.
Yeah.
That's the way it works now.
Lockdown rules.
Lockdown rules. Premier League football behind closed doors. Bring your packed lunch. Southampton 1, Manchester City 0. 6:06 on the way after this 5 Live Premier League Sunday. 08085 909 693. The number to call to speak to Emma Jones and Robbie Savage this evening. Will Southampton fans be celebrating a famous win over the mighty Manchester City? They lead 1-0. Mahrez' curled ball into the penalty area, finds Jesus. He's forced away from goal by Jack Stevens. Plays it back out here to Cancelo, to Jesus. Closed down by Redmond and Ings. Holds onto the ball though. Here's Fernandinho. Across to Aymeric Laporte, the Frenchman. Finds Sterling in space on the left. Run from David Silva. He's onside. Low cross. Well intercepted at the near post by Bednarek. And behind for the Manchester City corner. Southampton are going to do well to keep him out, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, Manchester City's strengths are down the foot in the wide areas, and David Silva just roams into it and causes issues and overloads, but so far they've dealt with it very well.
Here he is again. This time it's Mahrez, though, who gets it from Bernardo Silva to Zinchenko. Cross here to Cancelo. Little floated ball. Sterling running in behind. Stretches, lobs it back across goal, and again it's well cleared. Danny Ings back there this time. The ball had beaten McCarthy. There were Manchester City players closing in, and Ings with some brilliant defensive work there gets the congratulations from his teammates. Southampton have a free kick.
See, if I was Sterling, I would stay on that right-hand side. It's a wonderful run that he's done. He looks disinterested, he's behind the line, and all of a sudden he just darts, and they know where he's going to make that run. And I think Laporte played it to him, and he's just volleyed it across the goal, and no one was there. And I was when you mentioned Robbie and his show later, I wonder will anyone say about, I know Arsenal fans are not going to be happy with me saying this, but Aubameyang to Man City. Because when that ball got played across there, I'm thinking, oh, Aubameyang then tapping it in after that ball, you know, would Manchester City be interested in? You know, Aguero's out injured.
Offside, yeah, against Danny Ings. Go on, Karen.
Still dubious about Jesus, quite a few people, aren't they? And even Pep himself. So, I mean,
okay, there we go then.
Aubameyang to City, maybe?
Okay.
I'm just putting it out there.
Let's put it out there. Let's put it out there. Robbie and Emma taking the calls tonight. Aubameyang in talks with Arsenal about a new deal. Wants a lot of money, wants a long contract. But Karen's just raising the point, would others be looking? So let us know what you think. 08085 909 693 for 6:06 tonight. Sterling on the turn. Ward-Prowse tries to tackle him twice, doesn't manage it. Sterling still going, plays right to Mahrez. Mahrez almost trips over the ball. 2 step-overs. Back to David Silva, edge of the area. Southampton buzzing around there, trying to get back on the ball, and Danny Ings sprinting forward at full tilt, puts pressure on Eric Garcia. Garcia has to come all the way back to his goalkeeper, Edison. Cross to Laporte.
Ali, do you reckon Laporte and Garcia are his favoured centre-backs now? And potentially they're the two that are going to play in the FA Cup semi-final and Champions League, maybe?
Yeah, we'll wait and see. Here's Jesus on the turn. This looks dangerous for Southampton. What a ball with the outside of his right foot. Sterling drives it. Great save, McCarthy. full stretch, two hands, palms it away. Sterling's able to get to the rebound. Back to Zinchenko, across here to Mahrez. Mahrez looking for a 1-2 with David Silva. Cut out by Walker-Peters, only as far as Fernandinho. Low drive, hits the post, goes spinning out. Bernardo Silva gets to this one. Cross comes in. David Silva with the header. McCarthy saves, and it comes out to Sterling again. Sterling with the curler. It's just wide. Shots raining in on the Southampton goal. The post stopped one of them, Alex McCarthy stopped two, and Raheem Sterling very nearly whipped in the equaliser. Wow.
I was going to say wow as well. McCarthy, unbelievable saves from him. Poor defending in the first place from Southampton, not clearing their lines. But Fernandinho's hit the post, it's come back out. David Silva's won the header and he saved it. Come back out to Sterling for the fourth attempt actually, and he's just whipped it out wide. But there is an argument for a handball though, I think Fernandinho's was adamant there was a handball, but
they've had a look and nothing given by the video assistant referee. We're back underway. Southampton 1, Manchester City 0. Laporte volleys the ball into the chest of Shea Adams, the goal scorer.
I think that just sums up City's Premier League season, doesn't it? Yeah. Chance, and just hasn't fell. And I looked when Sterling's chance went wide, I just saw Pep Guardiola throw his arms down in frustration, and the bench clapped, but he was not happy. They have to be more clinical in that situation.
Yeah, Fernandinho dragged the shot slightly. He was claiming for handball. McCarthy with two good saves, and one of them was from a David Silva header. Silva got in there and really wanted to win it. And McCarthy made the save at close range. Don't forget, Kevin De Bruyne is sitting on this bench, as is Phil Foden and Ilkay Gundogan and Rodri as well, who we heard from in the interview with Steve Crossman before the game. You'll hear from Jurgen Klopp and Dean Smith on the way at half-time here on BBC Radio 5 Live. And tomorrow night, our Premier League commentary comes from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham against Everton, as Ederson comes to the right-hand side of his penalty area to collect a long ball forward. Tottenham starting the evening on 45 points, a full 10 points behind Manchester United, sitting in fifth, and Everton just behind Tottenham on 44. Zinchenko in field, couldn't find Sterling. Romeo is there to intercept. Kyle Walker-Peters brings it up the right-hand touchline. Zippy pass down the line to Adams, flicks it back to Walker-Peters. Walker-Peters again, light blue shirts all around him, got to be careful. Plays back to Stevens. Jesus cuts off the back pass, ball forward, Zinchenko intercepts. First time ball, finds Bernardo Silva into Jesus, poor pass. Too far ahead of him, allowed McCarthy to grab it.
It was a good opportunity though, giving it away, Southampton in the wide area, and straight away one pass just cut the back line open as Southampton, and it was just, the pass was just not right there. The idea was there, the execution was just too zippy and a yard in front of Jesus.
14 minutes to play in the first half. Karen Carney with us here at the St Mary's Stadium. Southampton leading Manchester City by a goal to nil. In the last 7 games between these two teams, Manchester City have won the lot by an aggregate score of 20 goals to 5, but they're trailing 1-0. Mahrez on the ball, runs out of space. Ward-Prowse and Romeo close in. Romeo plays it back to McCarthy. McCarthy clears long with his right foot. Cancelo stretches, and had he not got the touch, well, he's lost it now to Redmond, who is right behind him. Redmond brings it forward and then shoots poorly, miles over the bar and behind for a goal kick. But Southampton are still getting chances.
They are. It's poor from Cancelo there. You know Nathan Redmond's going to hunt you down. He's aggressive. He likes to press. Cancelo just sloppy, taking his time. Redmond wins it, drives forward, and it's a poor finish from Nathan. He's got to at least hit the target. He had time to keep going on. I think just 5 yards outside the penalty area, he could have kept going. But it's good pressing from Southampton. But the back line of Man City, you have to know that's a strength of Southampton.
Zinchenko's giving it away again. Ward-Prowse is onto it. Plays it wide to Danny Ings. Southampton looks sharp, leading 1-0. Ward-Prowse to Ings to Walker-Peters to Romeo down the right-hand side. They've opened Manchester City up. Can Ward-Prowse find anyone in the middle? Low cross comes in right across the face of goal. Cancelo's there, flicks it away. It'll go out for a Southampton throw.
It's a great ball from Ward-Prowse there. He's just drilled it across, you know, the 8-yard line, I'd say. 5 yards, sorry. And you just want Danny Ings or Che Adams or even Nathan Redmond just to go in there and tap it in, and they're just not up to speed with him.
Throw in Southampton on the left, leading 1-0. Stadium decked out in red and white colours all round. We march on, boldly written in white block capitals on the big red banner opposite us. Redmond in space and at pace, cuts in from the left, right-footed drive. Ederson, good goalkeeping, gets down and clutches the bouncing ball just in front of him, runs to the edge of his penalty area and then just bowls it out underarm to Eric Garcia.
It was positive there from Redmond. He probably knows Cancelo's not as sharp as he can be. Drives in at him, looks for the shot. That's an element of his game that I think Nathan can really kick on, add a few more goals to his game.
Gabriel Jesus. Low pass out to the left. Zinchenko's going to go with a first-time cross. Jack Stevens has a swing at it with his right foot, clears it. High spinning ball goes thumping into the advertising hoardings. You can hear those crowd effects behind our commentary on 5 Live this evening. If you don't want them, we're also on 5 Live Sports Extra. Zinchenko's cross in, caught by Alex McCarthy. And on Sports Extra, all you'll get is the pitch side effect, so the sort of the shouts you can hear from the managers and the subs and the coaches and the staff of each club. So the Southampton substitutes are out just going through their warm-ups at the moment. 10 minutes left in the first half. Southampton leading through the Shea Adams goal, which, as I said, is well worth a watch on Match of the Day 2 tonight, 10:30 on BBC One, because he's probably almost 40 yards out, hits it first time, clears Ederson. It's a wonderful finish.
It is. I was just thinking then back to Cancelo. You know, you got an opportunity here today to play. You know, Kyle Walker hasn't travelled. Surely you'd be thinking, I want to play really well, and a few players out there, because I want to be in that Champions League team.
Yeah.
I want to be in that semi-final, and none of them are really showing me the desire and the hunger. You know, there's a difference when Kevin De Bruyne plays, and even Phil Foden, to be fair to him. There's a hunger and there's a bit more, there's an energy about them.
Jesus, lovely layoff here to Sterling. Sterling inside the Southampton penalty area, looking for Jesus again, closed out by the red and white shirts. Just no space in there, so congested. That's a good tackle from Cancelo. Brings it forward, dummies the shot, still going. Slides it to his right. Mahrez with the left foot, well blocked by McCarthy. The angle was very tight. Mahrez went low for that far corner and McCarthy blocked it with his leg. Southampton can't get out. Silva again to Mahrez inside the penalty area. Another shot from Mahrez is blocked with that left foot. Romeo is able to stumble out of the box with the ball. Shea Adams is almost tripped. Ball wide to Danny Ings. Ings will keep this in on the right-hand side, and Guardiola's shouting at Zinchenko, saying he's out of position there. He wanted him a little further forward to put pressure on the ball. Southampton's defence survives another City onslaught, and they have the ball with their goalkeeper Alex McCarthy, leading 1-0. Bednarek down the line to Bertrand, stretches, couldn't control it, so it's with Cancelo, 10 yards inside his own half. Fernandinho to David Silva, a bit of space on the right here, and they use it as well. Bernardo Silva, he's got Jesus and Sterling in the middle. Here is Bernardo Silva, left-footed cross, swung in, Jesus underneath it, David Silva came running in, clash of heads there, the referee's going to have to stop this straight away. Silva launched himself to try and win the header. Walker-Peters didn't see him, jumped for the ball as well, and they have clashed at high speed. So I hope, Karen, that they're both okay.
Yeah, I think doesn't look great for, hopefully, fingers crossed they're all right. David Silva's running in, like you said, full tilt, and they've just clashed heads, and straight away they both went down. It was I'm winching just looking at the replay. Hopefully, I think David Silva's getting up, and we're just making sure Walker-Peters is all right.
I wasn't at the Etihad Stadium on Thursday, Karen, but I did watch the game on television and listened as well on 5 Live, sort of doing a bit of the both. And the intensity of that performance, and like I say, I wasn't there in the stadium, but just the hunger that City came out with the points. That they've been good in patches tonight, but that's not been there quite, has it?
Do you know what it is? And you're going to go, how can one person be the difference? He's warming up now, but Kevin De Bruyne, every time I've seen him since back from the restart, one word that keeps coming, he's angry. And when he's angry, he's dragging the rest of the team through. Everything was coming through him. He's the best midfielder in the world. He's absolute pure class. And you can see it's not quite working for them, especially in the middle today, but he drags Manchester City through at the moment. He is the difference, and he was unbelievable against Liverpool.
He's the only Manchester City substitute out there warming up at the moment. City are trailing 1-0 here at the St Mary's Stadium. heading towards half-time on 5 Live Sport. Burnley 1, Sheffield United 1, Newcastle 2, West Ham 2, Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 0. Your Premier League results from earlier today. Swansea beat Sheffield Wednesday by 2-1 in the Championship to move within 4 points of 6th place, those playoff spots where Cardiff, their big rivals, sit as well. Here's Edison playing it out to Eric Garcia. QPR 1-0 winners at Middlesbrough, who remain in the bottom 3, and West Brom closing to within a point of Leeds with a 4-2 win over Hull. All results to react to on 6:06 tonight. Ward-Prowse is fouled. Free kick Southampton, just inside the Manchester City half. Let's keep an eye on Kevin De Bruyne as well, who's doing a little bit of high kicking. Big worry, of course, for Manchester City fans is if the Champions League ruling goes against them, how Kevin De Bruyne is going to feel about that. But we'll wait and see what happens on that front. David Silva goes in hard to win a ball, but it spins out to Redmond. Redmond behind Ward-Prowse to Armstrong. Armstrong wants a runner. He's got Danny Ings on the turn on the edge of the box. He's tackled. Romeu gets the shout and man on. Got the pass away to Ward-Prowse. Played back to Jack Stevens. Goes for the diagonal ball in behind. Bertrand won't catch that, nor will Redmond. And it's out for a throw into Manchester City.
You looked at when did you say the last time Fernandinho played in centre mid?
I didn't finish my search.
Sorry, because I'm looking at him and you can tell he's played centre back, and he's a bit unfamiliar with. I know it's his natural position, but he does look a bit slower than potentially, you know, he's used to playing at the centre-back where he's got a lot of possession, no one really pressing him. It's very different back in that centre midfield role. Stevens
catches Jesus, advantage play. David Silva quickly onto Sterling. Zinchenko on the outside, finds him. Zinchenko had to stop in his tracks. Southampton 1 offside, they're not going to get it. Here's David Silva, back to Jesus, 30 yards from goal, spreads the play to the right. Cancelo. 3 in the middle, Mahrez, Jesus, Sterling. Cross comes in, Ward-Prowse is there to head it away for Southampton. They lead Manchester City 1-0. Now Fernandinho, caught by Danny Ings, but Laporte is there. Laporte digs his right foot underneath the ball. It goes spinning out to Zinchenko on the left. 25 yards inside the Southampton half as City come forward again. David Silva's looking for options here. Sliding one forward into the penalty area. No City player on the same wavelength, and it's straight through to Alex McCarthy.
I think you said wavelength there, and I know that's what Kevin De Bruyne does. He makes everybody else kind of tick and come together. There's something missing out there today, and even, like I said, Fernandinho, he hasn't played in that centre midfield role for, I couldn't even tell you the last time I saw him play in that role, and so it's just not sinking quite well for City today.
Going to look that up at half-time, the last time Fernandinho played in that defensive midfield role and not at centre-back for Manchester City. Southampton playing out. Cancelo fancied a chance to win the ball. He did win it. It's gone out for a throw. 2 players collided. The other one was Ward-Prowse. No free kick though. Strong challenge. And throw into Southampton on the left. Southampton were rather cruelly beaten by Manchester City earlier in the season. 2-1 at the Etihad with a late goal from Kyle Walker, having played very well in that game. Just had a camera shot of Phil Foden as well, another man who could make a little bit of a difference to City if he gets onto the field. 4 Premier League goals for him since the restart. Southampton leading 1-0. Goal scorer is Shea Adams. He's battling for the ball wide on the left for Southampton. Both teams obviously claim for the throw as the ball goes out. Southampton get the decision. Ryan Bertrand collects the ball. He's level with the edge of the Manchester City penalty area. 2.5 minutes remaining in this first half, plus a bit of added time. Bertrand holds the ball above his head. Ward-Prowse makes a run into space. Turns a pass around the corner, and Garcia can't take a chance there. Just puts a right foot on the ball and clears it out for another throw. So Southampton are closing out the half nicely. Their post has been struck. Alex McCarthy's made 2 good saves. Raheem Sterling's gone close. McCarthy's made another block with his right foot from Mahrez. But at the moment they're holding Manchester City, leading 1-0. Redmond back to Ings, to Ward-Prowse, toes it back to Romeu, who in turn comes all the way back to the centre circle. Jack Stevens knocks it to the right. Walker-Peters, that's an interesting ball for Danny Ings, full stretch over the bar. Left foot volley, good contact on it. Lovely ball as well from Walker-Peters, just couldn't get the shot on target.
You're right, it was a lovely ball. He's picked it up on his right-hand side and he's just curled it in behind the Manchester City back line, and Danny Ings is looking up, and I don't think Laporte tracked him, and he's just bent it with his right foot just round the back of the back line, and Ings is just stretching and just couldn't get enough on it, but it's a wonderful ball.
Last minute of the first half, Manchester City sloppy again. Fernandinho caught in possession, desperately trying to scramble it back. Fernandinho gets it. Loose ball again, though, given away. Oof, David Silva is caught by Romeo on the halfway line, and Romeo gets booked. High foot. Silva came in hard, and Romeo just missed the ball, got the man, and gets the first booking of the game. But City playing out, Karen, just sloppy.
They are. Fernandinho's got caught in possession, then they got it back, then he give it away. He's very rusty in that position. Like I said, when he's been playing in the back two of Manchester City, he's used to having possession of the ball, no one really closing him down. It's not the case in centre midfield, especially against this Southampton side who hunt and chase and try and win things off you.
Sterling on the turn. No, that pass is not going to work. Well read by Jack Stevens. Sterling was looking to find Jesus, but he found Stevens between him and his teammate. 3 minutes of added time. Southampton have really got to switch on now because they've got the lead. They don't want to concede before the break. But Manchester City have the ball and they're coming at them again. Garcia across to Laporte, just inside the Southampton half. Zinchenko right on that touchline on the left. Laporte will use him. Armstrong then goes across to try and close it down for Southampton. Zinchenko back to Laporte. Slow pass, so the momentum is lost a little. Garcia across to Cancelo. Cancelo starts to dribble forward, flicks the ball with the outside of his right boot, wide to Bernardo Silva. Back to Garcia. All inside the Southampton half again. Every single player apart from Ederson. Laporte through the middle. Jesus lays it off to David Silva, 30 yards out. Sideways pass to Fernandinho, wide to Mahrez. Two men in front of him. Short pass to Cancelo, back to Fernandinho. Laporte to his left, gives it to him, 25 yards away from the Southampton goal. Finds Zinchenko, short to David Silva. Back to Zinchenko. Southampton keeping Manchester City at arm's length at the moment. 2 minutes of added time remaining at the end of the first half here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Bernardo Silva onside by the byline. Cross in. Jesus nods it down. David Silva can't get there. Romeo volleys it away. Manchester City still have time in the closing stages of the first half, but Southampton's defensive effort has been absolutely spot on, Karen, hasn't it?
It has, yeah, and McCarthy and that back four have been exceptional, just being compact, have been good defending out wide areas. Bertrand and Walker-Peters, and the two centre-halves have dealt with everything and blocked everything.
Mahrez on the turn, gives it to Jesus. Again, they're working in a very tight space and their offside flag is up. Really, so many red and white shirts in there, and the passing is crisp and to feet, but there's always just been a tackle in there or a challenge in there. Raheem Sterling saying to Carl Walker-Peters, come on, you can take the free kick a bit more quickly than that. 1 minute left of added time at the end of this first half. Jurgen Klopp and Dean Smith, their reaction to Liverpool 2, Villa 0. On the way at half-time here on BBC Radio 5 Live, with the phone lines opening as well for 6:06 tonight. Emma Jones and Robbie Savage taking your calls. 08085 909 693 to have your say. Zinchenko trying to defend for Manchester City. Shea Adams makes it awkward for him. Laporte knocks the ball into Adams. Manchester City get the throw. 30 seconds remaining. Fernandinho wants it short. Back to Zinchenko. Not often you see that from Man City. Just smashes it long down the field. Jack Stevens misjudges it. Walker-Peters is there to clear it up. Sterling takes it off him. Romeo hammers it downfield. Ederson comes running across to collect it. I think that will be that for the first half. Ederson comes dribbling out from the left-back position. Andre Mariner looks at his watch. Little conversation between David Silva and Oriol Romeo, two Spaniards there in midfield, about something that's gone on. Romeo was booked for the challenge on David Silva. There we go. Half-time whistle blows. Sloppiness from Manchester City cost them the goal. It was brilliantly finished by Shea Adams. This argument continues between David Silva and Oriol Romeo, but I think the thing we should say at half-time as well, Karen Carney, is well played Southampton.
Yeah, very good, defended well. You know, Manchester City have had their chances and McCarthy's made some very good saves, but Walker-Peters and Bertrand have kept, you know, David Sterling and Mahrez very, very quiet, and I think the two centre-halves of Southampton have bullied Jesus. I think they've been very, very good. I think Manchester City front line's been poor, and the midfield's been very, very slow and sloppy.
Three initials that pop into my head here at half-time with Southampton leading Manchester City by a goal to nil. They are KDB. Kevin De Bruyne is on the bench for Manchester City. When will we see him? Southampton 1, Manchester City 0.
Well, Karen Cardy, that's a very good question. Is he out there warming up on his own because he might come on, or is he just out there to keep his teammates on their toes and remind them?
I think it's both, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does come on. I think they need to bring him on. It's just what Pep Guardiola wants. Does he want Fernandinho to get more match fit in that centre midfield area because he's been very, very rusty? So do you leave him on? Or do you want to go and think, I don't want to lose 3 away games on the bounce and I want my best player out there and I want my team to improve, so I'll put him on. So it's what Pep Guardiola wants, because we know the Premier League's done and dusted. What is his long-term vision for the rest of the season? And that obviously is August, and that is the semi-final, and that is the Champions League. So what is best for the team, for them to progress in that, is in his mind.
Presumably he's looking for an answer to the question of how easily can we live without him?
Well, they can't. He's the best player. He's the best midfielder in the world. And like I said earlier, he's angry. And the way he performs, he's angry and he's dragging the rest of his team through. He's got leadership. And I don't see any leaders out there today. I actually see the attitude of, I kind of can't be bothered. And that's really bad at Manchester City. They're laboured, a bit slow, and they've got bullied. You know, Raheem Sterling, Mahrez and Jesus have been bullied by the back four of Southampton, and there's just no energy. And I think the frustrating thing is how can you have that performance against Liverpool and then this first half performance today? And I know they've had a lot of games in 18 days, but they're fit enough, and that he hasn't overtrained them. I read earlier they didn't train too hard in lockdown, so this should be relatively fresh. And I said this is an opportunity to state your claim for the semi-final, for the Champions League. So play well, get in the team and cement your spot. And no one's really told me that they really want that now.
I'm just watching, Ali, the replays of that Shea Adams goal. That goal doesn't make any sense, because if you haven't scored for 29 games, you're supposed to sort of wait for one to kind of hit your backside and go in, not do that.
Well, the funny thing was, Steve, with the chance he got early in the game, he got played in on the right-hand side, and he did, at that moment, look like a striker short of confidence, because he went for pure power rather than placement and sort of hooked it badly across goal, and it hit Nathan Redmond, almost turned into a chance for him. So the next one comes along. But I think that's one of those, actually, and Karen will be able to speak to this much better than me. That is instinct, isn't it? You're not even thinking about lack of confidence. The ball arrives, and your brain just switches into keeper's off his line, I'm going to hit it.
I agree. I think when you're in the 18-yard box, and as a subconscious, even though things happen so quick in the 18-yard box, you think, oh my God, it's a goal, it's an opportunity, I should be scoring, even before you've hit it. And then he's right, he scuffed it. But that one that came to him, I think even if you watch it later on Match of the Day, he's actually very relaxed in his technique, in his body shape. He's not tense. So that's what he should be in the 18-yard box, and he hasn't been. And that, he just, like you said, his instinct, he just was calm, relaxed, got his technique well, didn't even lace it, nice and cushioned and controlled and curled, and it was a fabulous finish, and it's a wonderful goal. And look, as you know, I'm a Birmingham fan, so I want him to do well, so I'm absolutely ecstatic now, because I'm thinking, go on, this is your opportunity now, get yourself in a little bit of a run towards the end of the season, build your confidence and really smash it next season, because they believe in him. The manager must believe in him to give him the opportunity, and the way the bench celebrated, they want him to do well.
That's a great point, that, Karen. An absolute shot to nothing from Shea Adams. No pressure on him. Instinct, and what a brilliant finish. In his 30th appearance for Southampton, he has his first goal, and what a goal. The only goal so far at St Mary's. Half-time, Southampton 1, Manchester City 0. Elsewhere on this 5 Live Premier League Sunday, finished Burnley 1, Sheffield United 1, Newcastle 2, West Ham 2, and Liverpool 2. A very impressive Aston Villa 0. We'll hear from both Jurgen Klopp and Dean Smith after the news on 5 Live with Jim Taylor.
On digital, BBC Sounds, smart speaker and online.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The government says it has a comprehensive action plan for social care after the head of NHS England said new plans should be brought forward within the next year. Political parties have been talking about reforming the way social care is funded for the last 20 years. Sir Simon Stevens was speaking to the BBC earlier. Here's our health correspondent, Anna Collinson.
Speaking to Andrew Marr this morning, he said the coronavirus has shone a very harsh spotlight on the care system, and that he hopes that this will lead to the reform that the industry desperately needs. The Department of Health says it will bring forward a plan for reform.
The Health Secretary says he's concerned about working environments in some clothing factories in Leicester, which is under local lockdown. Campaigners claim some workers have been forced to come in while sick with COVID-19. Matt Hancock has confirmed the government's already shut down businesses since the pandemic began. The Met Police say they've found no evidence of misconduct when officers stopped two black athletes who were driving with their young child. It's after Linford Christie shared video of it online and suggested it amounted to racism. The force says the car had been seen driving suspiciously. Boris Johnson and the Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer have joined a nationwide clap for carers to say happy 72nd birthday to the NHS. Police officers, healthcare workers and firefighters also took part. Dr Risa Issa is a GP in North London.
While it's been wonderful receiving all of the applause, I think now is a time for us to think about how we move from gestures into something that might be a little bit more tangible. We might be facing a second wave. We know that we're going to be going into possibly a winter crisis at some point. And moving into that, we really need to make sure that staff are supported.
And the singer Katie Tunstall's told 5 Live the pandemic could be an extinction-level event for some music venues and may force an entire generation of artists to quit the industry. The government says it's working with venues so that gigs and events can resume, but operators say they need cash or may have to close for good.
It's dire. It's an extinction-level event, and I have seen pushback online of people saying, why does it deserve it? Look, this is a $5.2 billion per year industry. 210,000 jobs. What they need a 50 million cash injection to prevent them from collapsing.
Katie Tunstall there, speaking to 5 Live earlier.
Hear the best of 5 Live Sport on BBC Sounds with That Peter Crouch podcast.
We got a few beers and then we got escorted back to an even better place, which was like the VIP place with Crouchy. So he's already half getting signed just from them contacts. You know? I'll make it clear to anyone who's listening, my weakness is free stuff.
And 5 Live's Football Daily.
What is the plan? Who is running the club? Who is running the transfer policy? Why has he got 1 year left? Your star man on a fortune, not trying a leg, and that's the way it looks.
Sport on Sounds. All your 5 Live favourites. Listen using the BBC Sounds app.
More live Premier League football than anyone else.
5 Live's Premier League Sunday
with Steve Crossman.
Let's hear from the champion, shall we? Liverpool beat Aston Villa 2-0 this afternoon. It takes them to 89 points in the Premier League table. 4 wins from their last 5 games will get them to 101, beating Manchester City's record points total from a couple of seasons ago. So that's still very much possible for Jurgen Klopp's side. Wasn't an easy victory over an impressive Aston Villa. Here's Jurgen Klopp.
Jurgen, that was a hard-fought win, but you found a way.
Look, for me, there is no but. That's how it is. It's a hard fought when you're right, but that's good. So that's how it is. Today, for plenty of reasons, it was difficult. So, and I speak about it even when people don't want to hear that. So it was unbelievable windy. It's here really cold. The cold is not a problem. The wind is a problem for 2 reasons. It changed the direction of the ball if you want to play football, and it dries the pitch massively. Both teams had problems with that, but of course the team with the dominant team struggles more with that. So, and then you realize, okay, it's not easy today and stuff like this. This doesn't work. Here it's not clicking and so. And then you stay on track and you improve in the game. We found ways to bring ourselves in better positions, step by step by step by step. And then in the end, it was an absolute deserved win with 2 wonderful goals. And I saw in the eyes of the players that they really were ready to play a difficult game, and so I'm fine with that.
You made the changes, all 3 at the same time, and straight away we all saw a difference.
No, yeah, I know what you mean. Of course, when Bobby's coming in his natural position, that in a game when they all did the job, we wanted to have Divock rather high, and that he stretched the formation. It didn't work out in between the lines, and that was the problem. But in the moment when Bobby came on for Divock and comes in a position, that means just for the last round, they had to defend completely different now. That was what we wanted. Oxlade made a few really good runs, but for his game, this pitch today is absolutely it's like poison. So because if you want to speed up with the ball and you can't really because the ball is not rolling. So all good. Yes, the 3 came on and finished the job, but only because the others made it work before.
Another of your substitutions though came on. Curtis Jones, what a weekend for him it's been. Fantastic.
Yeah, no, true. It's just great to have a player like him who wants to be here desperately. He's a Scouser, he's a Liverpool supporter, so he wants to play for this club, and it's easy to give him the chance because he trains really good. He's like a sponge, if you want, that he really absorbs informations and stuff like this. He came on and had directly a finish, which is cool. So he wants to be decisive. That's good.
Jurgen Klopp there with Juliet Farrington. Juliet also spoke to the Villa boss Dean Smith, whose side stay third bottom, 1 point from safety. Here he is.
Dean, I saw you walking out of the tunnel post-match with Jurgen. Obviously all smiles between you, a lot of respect, but how frustrating was that for you this afternoon?
Yeah, it's really frustrating. The fact that we've come to Anfield against a team who've been incredible for 2 seasons, not just this season, and to outshoot them here, in attempts on goal. But I think the quality told. They put 3 of the big hitters on, didn't they? And the quality went up in the game in their perspective for me. And they've created a quality goal, but we've got to probably make the most out of our counter-attacking opportunities. We felt, and our game plan was, to play on the counter-attack. Our defensive organisation has been really good since Project Restart, and but we wanted to go and hit them on the counter at pace, and we did that. But we just didn't make the most of our chances, and unfortunately they did.
You said they brought the big hitters on, but you forced them to do that. So what signs of encouragement do you see from this to go forward into the remaining games?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of signs of encouragement, but we're running out of games, so we're aware of that. What I don't want to be is a valiant loser. Our job is to win games, and we're working really hard. Defensively, we're so much better since Project Restart. We just need that quality in the final third at the moment, but I can see certainly shoots of optimism for us the way we played today.
Just talking about 2 of your players though, Tyrone and Jack, we saw them pick up, well I say pick up, they struggled with maybe a few knocks, a few injuries. What is going on with those 2 right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think Jack's strapping was a little bit too tight and it was giving him a bit of pain in his calf, so I think that once that was loosened off at half time, he got through the game fine. And Tyrone got a kick in the calf. He's got an ice pack on it now. Thankfully it was just a kick and not a pull, so he was going down at one stage and then he was coming off, and I was asking him what he was doing, but he managed to see the game out, and we'll get him back to Bodymoor Heath now and get ready for Manchester United on Thursday.
Well, Dean, thanks for your time and good luck for the rest of the season.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Dean Smith, Aston Villa third bottom in the Premier League. Middlesbrough third bottom in the Championship. They lost 1-0 at home to Queen's Park Rangers. Hull, who were just above the drop zone, also lost 4-2 at West Brom, who are now 5 points clear of third place Brentford. Other game finished Swansea 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Loads to talk about on 606 then, which follows Southampton, Manchester City. 08085 909 693 to speak to Robbie Savage and Emma Jones. Evening, guys.
Hello, hello.
Are you going to resist the temptation to mention that result or not? I knew it.
There's a result that I'd like to mention. Do you want to give the Leeds United result, Rob, or shall I, from yesterday?
The internet's quite bad here.
Oh, is it?
No, I can't see it either.
Do you know what then? I'm sure everyone's aware that it was a 3-1 win yesterday, but let's rattle through this, shall we, Rob? Because I know you've got something pretty important you want to cover. Southampton fans are 1-0 up at half-time against Manchester City. Is this proof that you should stick with your manager rather than have a knee-jerk reaction? Man City, great win over Liverpool midweek, but does Pep have to address your defence? Aston Villa fans, of course, just heard from Dean Smith there. Looks like it could be a fight between you and Watford for safety. Dean Smith said he's never been relegated with the team, but can you stay up? And Liverpool fans, your unbeaten run at home continues and you could still get 100 points. Should Jurgen Klopp be playing the youth or pushing for those points? West Ham fans, looks like you could be safe. Are you happy with David Moyes? Burnley, should you throw everything at keeping hold of Sean Dyche? There is a lot of football, isn't there? Sheffield United fans, it looks like Champions League football could be out of reach this season, but it's still a huge success for you, isn't it? Get your calls in now, 08085 909 693, because there's something very important as well that Robbie wants to talk about.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, guys. That whistle tells you that we're back underway in our final commentary game of the evening. Southampton, Manchester City with Karen Carney and Ali Bruce.
Thank you, Steve. Pep Guardiola sent the Manchester City team, the players, back out early. He's made no changes as yet. Kevin De Bruyne, though, is continuing to go through his warm-up routine right at the start of the second half, as is Phil Foden. Not been a great day so far for Pep Guardiola. I'm sure he'll know that Real Madrid were 1-0 winners away to Athletic Bilbao this afternoon. Eric Garcia very nearly loses a ball to Nathan Redmond on the edge of his own penalty area there. Real Madrid have gone 7 points clear at the top of La Liga. Barcelona away to Villarreal this evening, trying to close that gap, but they are fast running out of games. The sun is starting to set here in Southampton, so luckily I remembered to stick the sunglasses in and take them in the car. Got them on for this second half. Manchester City in the light blue shirts, white shorts and light blue socks, playing from left to right in this second half, trailing 1-0 and attacking that northern stand away to our right. Floated ball as a peach onto the left boot of Riyad Mahrez. Mahrez running in from the right, but Ryan Bertrand sticking to him like a shadow there. Eric Garcia across to Zinchenko. Zinchenko plays back to Laporte. Wide to Zinchenko for Manchester City inside the Southampton half. Again, that situation where all the outfield players are all clustered inside the Southampton half, and Ederson is looking very lonely, the Manchester City goalkeeper, in his bottle green goalkeeping outfit, away to our left. Bernardo Silva pops up wide on the right. Two Southampton men right in front of him. The energy levels from Southampton in terms of the defending and the pressing of the ball have been really impressive. City working them hard early in the second half. Zinchenko, low cross, not great, intercepted by Walker-Peters. Southampton have made no changes at half-time either. Almost gave the ball away inside their own half. City have won it back here. Fernandinho got a foot in. And I've got an answer, Karen, to your question about Fernandinho and playing in that defensive midfield role. So when we get the first break in play in this second half, I'll give you the answer. I think Man City might win a corner here. Yes, they will. The ball came spinning up off the shin of Romeu and McCarthy couldn't catch it. So I believe this season he's not played in that position, Karen, and we're talking about last April.
Wow.
So you were absolutely bang on in terms of sort of trying to get used to playing that position again that he was the absolute master at. He's obviously struggled with that a little bit this evening. Corner for Manchester City into the near post, all headed down right across the face of goal. I think Jesus might have got the touch. It's wide and behind for a goal kick. Pep Guardiola has his head in hand, so just wonder whether it's going to be one of those evenings, you know, Karen. Everything they try, it's either hitting the post or the keeper's making a blinding save, or it's just wide, or they're wasting a chance.
I don't know, there's still too many fantastic bench players for that maybe to be like that. That was another good opportunity for Jesus. Glanced his header across the front post and just went wide. No one was there for the tap-in at the back post.
City hunted the ball down again. Southampton just couldn't get out. Great skills from Sterling, dancing down the byline. He's won them another corner. What are Southampton complaining about there? 3 of them turn. I think they might be saying that Sterling dragged the ball over the byline and it should have been behind for a goal kick. But City have started this second half very fast. Zinchenko, he's closed down by Walker-Peters. Cross is blocked. Heads it back to Mahrez. Mahrez wide on the left for City in this attack. Comes across to Cancelo, just inside the Southampton half. Bernardo Silva, across to Zinchenko, back to Eric Garcia, keeping his place at centre-back, ahead of John Stones on the bench this evening. Nicolas Otamendi as well. Fernandinho goes running down the right, low pull back into the penalty area. Laporte turns, shoots, blocked by Walker-Peters, headed down by Jesus, blocked on the line by McCarthy, and again that Southampton goal leads a charmed life.
I mean, it's great play from Fernandinho down this right-hand side. He's whipped it across. It's fell to Jesus, it's been a wonderful save from block, I think, from Bednarek, and then saved by McCarthy, and Southampton again holding on to that clean sheet.
It's creaking at the moment. Cancelo whips the ball into the far post. David Silva's waiting. Good defending, and it's hooked away by Nathan Redmond. They are clinging on early in the second half here, but they're still defending well. Southampton 1, Manchester City 0. I'll remind you of those 2 team lineups in just a second, but it is relentless attacking from City here. Zinchenko swinging across in deep. McCarthy gets a hand to it, and it's gone behind for another corner. So City have Ederson in goal, Cancelo, Laporte, Garcia and Zinchenko, Fernandinho in front of them, the 2 Silvers, Mahrez and Sterling wide, with Gabriel Jesus through the middle. They've taken the corner. Here is Bernardo Silva. Across the face of the Southampton box to Zinchenko. Long way out. Decides to have a pop at goal. It's blocked on the edge of the box, and Zinchenko decides this time to smash it just as hard, but back to his goalkeeper Ederson. And everyone's got to come rushing back towards him. Ederson pings a long ball straight down the middle of the pitch and gives it straight to Alex McCarthy. Southampton 1, Manchester City 0. McCarthy in goal then for the Saints. Kyle Walker-Peters on loan from Tottenham, who's had a good battle with Raheem Sterling in the game so far at right back. Ryan Bertrand at left back. Stevens and Bednarek, the two centre-backs. Stuart Armstrong, Ward-Prowse, Oriol Romeu and Nathan Redmond, with Danny Ings and the goal scorer Shea Adams up front. Zinchenko's overhit his pass. Redmond's onto it in the inside left channel. City have 2 men to deal with the problem, and Cancelo plays it forward to Bernardo Silva. Good skills, gets him past Romeu. Not got much help here. Comes back to Garcia. Garcia under pressure from Bertrand. Back to his goalkeeper Ederson. Ederson, low ball out of his penalty area, and it comes to Laporte. Laporte into David Silva. Lovely turn, glides across the turf, forward to Jesus, lay off to Fernandinho. The two Brazilians linking nicely across to a Portuguese in Cancelo. Down the right for Jesus to chase. Little back heel into Mahrez. Mahrez still going, just giving a little nudge forward there. Mahrez goes tumbling down. Andre Mariner had a good view, not going to give a penalty for that. The video assistant referee will have a look. Armstrong, good dribbling for Southampton. Can Redmond keep the ball in? Yes, he can. Wide on the left. He's one-on-one against Cancelo. Cancelo holds him up. Redmond and Armstrong play a 1-2. Armstrong, unfortunately, lost his balance and goes stumbling over. Penalty, Karen, or not? Would you need another look at that?
Well, if it had gone down, he felt the nudge. I think that's Pep Guardiola's. If you feel the nudge go down, it's not diving, it's a foul. And he stayed on his feet, and then it was just too late, so it wasn't given. But if it had gone down with initial contact, yes, it would have been a penalty. I'm criticising a player for being honest there, and I shouldn't be, but...
You're playing the manager's role there, because you're right, that's what Pep Guardiola would say.
Yeah.
And I guess he would argue, and probably rightly so, if it's put you off your shot and what you're about to do, then maybe you should show the referee that you've been nudged. But he stayed on his feet. 7.5 minutes gone, second half. Phone lines are open for 606. Loads to talk about tonight. 08085 909 693. Emma Jones and Robbie Savage are taking the calls. Bernardo Silva plays it wide to Cancelo. There are 5 red and white shirts in close attention there. Fernandinho rolled forward to Jesus. Nice movement from Jesus. Lays it off to Zinchenko. Through the middle to David Silva. Turns, shoots. McCarthy with an excellent save. Silva very nearly squeezed that under McCarthy's body, and he just got enough pressure on the ball to keep it out. The pass from Zinchenko was lovely there, Karen.
I mean, it is much better from Jesus. He hasn't been bullied in the opening of this half. Gotten a good turn, put it through to Zinchenko, and then the magician, lovely little turn. He just needed the finish, and he's kind of played it right in a comfortable position for McCarthy to make that save. But it's much better for Man City. There's more tempo to them, there's more aggression in their play, and like I said, Jesus didn't get bullied. It's the first time he's making runs in behind, he's holding the ball up. They've gone in and they've clearly had a massive telling off from the manager, and rightly so, because like you listen to the Rodri interview, it's about mentality for Man City. They can turn it on and off when they want, and you can't do that. It's got to be on all the time.
Fernandinho's got caught in possession again. Stuart Armstrong comes driving forward for Southampton, lays it off to Redmond, thought about the shot, decides against it. Little scoop ball. Southampton have men over. Swing and a miss from Laporte. Slices it badly. Shea Adams lays it off to Ward-Prowse, back to Romeu. Southampton still leading Manchester City 1-0. De Bruyne, Foden and Gundogan continue the warm-ups as the Manchester City substitutes below us at the moment. Cancelo chests it down, flicks the ball over the head of Redmond. Garcia takes a risky touch there. Got the ball away in time though to Bernardo Silva. Across to Laporte. And as Karen Carney's just been saying, much better from Manchester City in the second half so far, but they've not been able to take the chances, and Alex McCarthy has done really well between the sticks for Southampton so far. Fernandinho jogging forward. Cancelo, bit of space opens up for him on the right, decides to take a touch, takes on Redmond, gets that cross in towards the back post. Jesus with an acrobatic volley that hits the legs of Stevens and goes behind for a corner. Good effort.
Very good effort. Good ball in from Cancelo down his right-hand side. dinks it to the back post where Jesus acrobatically keeps his eye on it, gets good contact, but again, the defence of Southampton blocks it.
Feels like the goal is coming, but you never know. 10 minutes gone, second half. Cancelo, diagonal ball into the penalty area. David Silva brings it down, lays it off to Jesus. Jesus, right-footed shot, but Southampton just had the bodies in the way again. There's no space there. Garcia hooks it over his head blindly. Danny Ings controls. Good tackle by Zinchenko. Cancelo in the centre circle decides to turn and settle things down and play the ball back to Ederson again. So all the football at the moment being played in the Southampton half, and here they come again. Last season's champions. For the last 2 seasons it was Manchester City, it's now Liverpool. Zinchenko, clever little header down to Sterling, tries to pull it back for David Silva, does so well to control that ball, running behind it, back to Bernardo Silva who shoots. It's another forest of legs that is blocked. They're going to have to play one of those City moves where they end up walking the ball into the back of the net because the shots are just getting blocked. Fernandinho has been booked and I think he's getting frustrated. Karen, that was a challenge on Redmond.
Yeah, it was very late. Hacked him down when he'd cleared it, Redmond. It's just, again, he's just not up the pace into that centre of midfield, Fernandinho. Like you said, he hasn't played in that position in a year, and people go, well, what's the difference? It's a big difference. You know, physically, it's a big shift in there in the midfield, and also you're getting pressured a lot more than you would at centre-back.
Had a slight panic there, Karen. On my notes, I'd written down that Fernandinho already had a yellow card, but I actually gave it to him instead of Oriol Romeu, so I was suddenly thinking...
You missed it, Meg.
Surely 2 yellows. Well, yeah, exactly, maybe it was that.
You
2
knew
yellows.
it was
Oh, Cancelo's lost it inside his own penalty area. What can Southampton work from here? Offside, they can't do anything. Free kick, Manchester City. It's remarkable to think, Karen, that this City team, and as well as they played particularly on Thursday night, and actually double change coming, De Bruyne and Foden are coming on, that they've lost 8 games in the Premier League this season. I can scarcely believe that, really.
It's the leadership and the consistency of Man City. You know, Rodri said it in his interview, we can beat anyone. Yes,
day.
you can, but on the day.
Yeah.
And you cannot do that. You have to, you have to get 100 points now to win the league.
Yeah.
So you can't drop any points. You have to be consistent, and that's what they haven't done, and that's down to leadership as well. And I think you don't realise people like, we spoke to Fabian Delph actually last summer when he was at City, and he spoke about how much work and leadership that he had to do off the pitch, what company did. And you lose those characters, they haven't been replaced. You can talk about all the technicians all you want, and mentality goes above and beyond.
Here come the changes. Raheem Sterling comes off, Phil Foden comes on. A lot of this, I know a bit of this, Karen. Mahrez is the other one to come off and Kevin De Bruyne comes on. A bit of this is about continue to rotate, keep everyone fresh and in form. It's also about trying to turn this around and try and improve the performance. So the 2 wide men come off. De Bruyne into central midfield. Fernandinho will sit in front of the back 4. David Silva and De Bruyne. De Bruyne already is making a run and looking to get on the end of the something. The ball is not played to him. Foden wide left and Bernardo Silva wide right.
I think what he's done there is he's realised that his 2 out-and-out wingers in Sterling and Mahrez haven't beat the fullbacks. That's a massive compliment to Bertrand and to Kyle Walker-Peters. So now he's gone with more midfielders out in the wide areas, so they're not going to beat him in 1v1, but what they'll do is they'll be smart and they'll be clever, and that might get him the edge.
Walker-Peters trying to run away from Phil Foden. So Foden comes on. 4 Premier League goals since the restart, just 20 years old. World is at his feet, it seems. That's the double change for Manchester City, and we've reached the hour mark in the game here at the St Mary's Stadium, where it's getting ever chillier. The sun's disappeared behind the clouds, the wind is still up, and Southampton lead by a goal to 0. 08085 909 693 is the number to dial to speak to Emma Jones and Robbie Savage on 606 tonight.
Ali, we haven't had a text from Robbie because you've plugged it that much today. Usually, still haven't had one. Or he's either fell out with me, or we've plugged it that much. There's been no need, so he's a happy man.
Yeah. Here's Cancelo on the right, halfway line. Cancelo wide to Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne fires that at Bernardo Silva, who had to sort of stretch and try and catch it on the back heel at shoulder height, which is impossible to do. Redmond's ball forward to Ings. Adams now is running away from Ings. If he can play him through the middle, he's decided not to, holds on to it, plays it to Redmond. Little layoff here from Armstrong to Romeu. Southampton just happy to have the ball for a little bit and not be chasing. Stevens wants to keep it towards Armstrong. Ward-Prowse almost runs into Zinchenko, chases his own pass at full speed and stops it from going out for a goal kick, and instead knocks it out for a throw to Manchester City.
It's good desire there from Ward-Prowse, just literally to stop it going out for a goal kick. You know, the pace and speed of him, I forget how quick he is actually.
Yeah. Ralph Hasenhüttl just got a shot of him, all in grey, baseball cap pulled down tightly on his head, watching his team intercepting another Manchester City attack. It was Foden looking to get De Bruyne away on the right, but he couldn't manage it. Hasenhüttl's come up against Pep Guardiola 5 times so far as a manager, and he's lost all 5 games. 2 with Ingolstadt in the Bundesliga, 3 with Southampton. Is he going to get his first win tonight? De Bruyne swinging cross. He could have had a little dip at goal there. McCarthy might have been slightly off his line. Couldn't find Foden at the far post, and the ball has gone behind for a goal kick.
Oh my God, Kevin De Bruyne, he's human.
Yeah.
He just crossed the ball and it didn't go to another blue player. It's remarkable, isn't it?
So Bertrand's down and hurt at the moment, so he's going to need treatment. Southampton are leading 1-0. Gives me a good chance to remind you, loads more Premier League commentaries coming your way next week. Tottenham-Everton first up on Monday night. Big game for those 2 teams. Arlo White and Chris Sutton with the commentary there. Kelly Cates is hosting the Monday Night Club. There's a Tuesday Night Club, Karen, which you're a part of. We'll have reports into that show from Palace, Chelsea, Watford, Norwich and Arsenal, Leicester. 2 more commentaries on Wednesday night, West Ham against Burnley and Brighton against Liverpool, and 2 more on Thursday as well, Bournemouth at home to Tottenham and Aston Villa sitting in that bottom 3 at home to Manchester United. Dotun Adebayo makes a very welcome return to the airwaves tonight on 5 Alive. Dotun will be on late this evening, regularly back on during the midweeks, back by popular return. And if you're a fan of the World Football Phone, in early hours Tuesday morning, I heard John Murray saying that'll be on at 1 a.m. With Tim Vickery over in Brazil. And the other thing I'm going to give a very little plug just before we get back underway is Passion, Penalties and Pavarotti, which is well worth a listen on the BBC Sounds app at the moment. It went out on 5 Live and Radio 2 last night. 30 years yesterday, England's painful defeat to West Germany on penalties at Italia 90, and that is a documentary that looks back at that World Cup. So go and find that. I think it's on there for the rest of the month. Southampton 1, Manchester City 0. 18 minutes played in the second half. Ward-Prowse making a run through the middle. So De Bruyne and Foden are on for Manchester City. David Silva's probably not going to be playing for this club too many more times, and he's not going to want to lose any more games. He dearly wants to bow out with a Champions League win, but he won't want to be on the end of a defeat at the St Mary's Stadium. So he's the skipper out there, still trying to make it happen. Manchester City working the ball from left to right. Foden skips away from Bertrand, who's received treatment and carried on. Good vision from Foden. Long diagonal pass onto the chest of Zinchenko. Plays it back to David Silva. De Bruyne round the corner. Bernardo Silva couldn't control. Southampton clear. David Silva to Zinchenko. Quickly on to Bernardo Silva. Cross blocked by Stevens. Defensively excellent again, Southampton. Behind for another corner.
They've blocked everything, haven't they, Stevens? And he's been very, very good. Red danger, put his body in front of things.
De Bruyne crossing with the left foot low. There's another block. This one's from Kyle Walker-Peters. Lovely volleyed pass from De Bruyne. Back to Zinchenko, on to David Silva. Here's Fernandinho, scooping one over the top. De Bruyne runs in behind, volleys it back across goal. Might fall to Bernardo Silva, drives it wide. And it took a touch on the way through, so another important Southampton block, and it's a Manchester City corner.
Just watching how many Southampton players there had to pick themselves up because they've threw their body in front of blocks and shots, and you know, really want to keep that clean sheet.
Foden's corner into the near post, headed away by Danny Ings, dropping on the edge of the box. Armstrong is there ahead of Kevin De Bruyne. Southampton leading Manchester City 1-0. Not been too many upset results, if you want to call them that, since football restarted. Brighton obviously got their home win over Arsenal. Southampton beating Manchester City would definitely be one of those. Zinchenko to Bernardo Silva. Dummies the cross on the byline. Back to Zinchenko. Cross comes in. Headed away by Bertrand. Ings, the bouncing ball, scoops it high in the air. Fernandinho chests it down. Got to be careful, he's on a yellow card. No, he didn't catch Danny Ings, says Andre Mariner. So play continues. Cancelo, wide to Foden. Foden running at Redmond and Bertrand. Lays it off to De Bruyne, looking for that curling ball into the far post. And again, headed behind, this time by Walker-Peters. Another corner for Manchester City.
That cross from De Bruyne there, it's that good that it tempted McCarthy out and he quickly had to backpedal, and luckily it was cleared out.
Everything happening so quickly. Zinchenko's crossing. Jesus with the header, not enough power. Easy save for Alex McCarthy, and Pep Guardiola just turns on his heel, throws his arms up in frustration, looks to the heavens and says, how on earth have we not scored a goal yet this evening? 25 minutes left to try and do that. Southampton leading 1-0 and starting tonight 14th in the Premier League on 40 points. A win tonight will put them level on points with Newcastle, above Palace, behind them on goal difference. Manchester City get a free kick, not in Kevin De Bruyne's shooting range, but Karen definitely in that sort of range where he could whip a really... Well, no, they're going to go quickly. Given to De Bruyne. Back to David Silva. Silva down the line to Bernardo Silva. Drives the cross in. Romeu volleys it away. Here's Stuart Armstrong. Runs out at full tilt. Plays it to his left. Bertrand has to go chasing that ball. Keeps it in. And Armstrong's continued his run. But the pass is beyond him. Poor pass from Eric Garcia. Adams is almost there. Ederson slides in and saves the day for Manchester City. Had he not got that, Adams could have been in and made it 2-0 to Southampton.
I mean, I'm just watching this
ball forward, yeah, to Bernardo Silva.
If Ederson wasn't on his toes, he wouldn't have got that. But then, if he was further back in the first half, he wouldn't have got lobbed. So that was the right position that time, though. It's a poor back pass from Garcia, and he's that's just being concentrating and staying switched on. They haven't had much to do at this in the second half. Manchester City defensive players, but it's not good to be in possession to give that slow ball back to him.
Drinks break at the St Mary's Stadium. We're midway through the second half. It is the last of 4 Premier League commentaries on 5 Live's Premier League Sunday. Southampton leading Manchester City by a goal to 0. Emma Jones and Robbie Savage want your reaction to these results in the Premier League. Burnley 1, Sheffield United 1, Newcastle 2, West Ham 2. West Ham ahead twice in that game. Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 0. It took Liverpool a long time to break Villa down. And do you think, I mean, maybe if you support one of these clubs, you want to have a word with Emma and Robbie tonight. It's Watford, Villa, Bournemouth, 2 of those 3 possibly going down with Norwich. West Ham 4 points clear of the bottom 3 at the moment, although the West Ham Villa fixture still looms large, Karen. That's last day of the season. West Ham at home to Villa. The thing is, as John Murray was saying in his commentary today, those bottom 4 teams between them just cannot buy a point. They've scraped, I think, 3 points between them since the restart.
It's scary, isn't it? It's like none of them want to take control of their own destiny. Yeah. But I think, West Ham 4 points out of 6.
Yeah.
Confidence is probably up. They're not, they'd be disappointed. They should have had 3 points today, really. Again, scoring and then conceding just after you've scored. When you're most vulnerable is when you've just scored yourself. And if you'd have stayed compact and after 5 minutes just take it easy. But, it's not bad 4 out of 6 for them. They'll be a little bit more confident going into the next couple of games.
Yeah, Brighton have started well since the break in the season as well. They look comfortable on 36 points. Back underway here. Southampton 1, Manchester City 0. Shea Adams, early goal in the first half when Zinchenko gave the ball away. De Bruyne's whipped a ball out wide right. Foden had come infield, so it went straight beyond him and out for a throw into Southampton. They're getting ready to make a change. Shane Long will come on, and he will come on for the goal scorer, Shea Adams. Now, the shame here, Karen, with no fans inside the stadium, this would be standing ovation time, wouldn't it? And actually, you can hear some applause, can't you, from the Southampton substitutes and the staff. But a great goal, got to be watched on Match of the Day that tonight.
Oh, it's fabulous. It's just the composure, and like that's his first goal, so his confidence probably isn't isn't very high before that. He had a chance earlier that he scuffed and missed, and then to have the composure, the audacity, the vision, to see that Ederson was off his line and to pull it off. Wonderful goal.
So Shane Long's on, and he will keep Manchester City's defenders occupied as he's doing at the moment. He thinks he's been fouled twice in the first minute there. Cancelo with a high foot, referee not interested in that, and then Cancelo with a little shove, and Andre Mariner not interested in that either. 20 minutes to play, 6:06 on the way with Emma Jones and Robbie Savage. 08085 909 693 to have your say on the phone in tonight. Southampton fans could well be celebrating a big win here, and Manchester City fans may be interested in what you think about what needs to be done to the squad over the summer ahead of next season to try and win that title back. Here's Laporte bringing the ball out of defence on his left foot. Ings and Long in front of him, plays it across to Eric Garcia, up towards Foden. Bertrand in strongly with the challenge. City have kept the ball though. Fernandinho to David Silva. Fernandinho nudged over, picked himself up, stays on the ball for Manchester City inside his own half. Played across to Eric Garcia. Now Cancelo. Cancelo to Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne just plays it back to Cancelo. So it's patient from Manchester City at the moment. Ball is played across to Laporte. Laporte strokes it nicely down the left to Zinchenko. Zinchenko into David Silva. Silva running from left to right. Across the Southampton half. Ball comes across to Cancelo. De Bruyne's lurking on the edge of the penalty area, but Southampton are pressing City well, and they can't find a way through. Laporte across to Zinchenko, 10 yards inside the Southampton half, and again he's got to come back into his own half, and Ederson comes forward, and he's a good 40 yards up the pitch now to try and offer himself. Bernardo Silva drops deep though, picks the ball up just inside the Southampton half. David Silva across to Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne head up all the time, looking for this little floated pass over the top. Too ambitious that, and the ball bounces behind for a goal kick. And every second that ticks by is a second closer to a famous win, but it must get more angst-ridden for Ralph Hasenhüttl.
I was just thinking, Southampton are a team you just don't want to play against. You know, they're organised, they get in your face, they press you at every instant. I mean, look at the two centre forwards. I know Chad has just gone off, but Long coming on, they hunt and chase down every ball, even if it's a lost cause.
Redmond gets away from Fernandinho, gets his cross in. Danny Ings stretches, couldn't get a touch on it. Here's Zinchenko, got to be careful there on the edge of his own box. Forward to Bernardo Silva. David Silva looking for De Bruyne down the left. Stevens read it well for Southampton and intercepts. 27 minutes gone in the second half, so less than 20 to play here. Southampton leading 1-0, back with their goalkeeper Alex McCarthy, who's made some really important saves for them to keep this clean sheet so far. They've given the ball away. And here's Laporte inside his own half. So everything just slows down again for a second while the two teams reassemble in defensive and attacking shape. Manchester City bringing it forward at attacking pace. Jesus, nice layoff to David Silva. On to De Bruyne. De Bruyne has the Southampton defenders backpedaling. Cross comes in, volleyed away by Bednarek. Only as far as De Bruyne again. Goes wide here to Bernardo Silva. Switches back onto his right foot. David Silva. De Bruyne hooks it over the bar. First time volley, instinctive. Gets underneath it and goes behind for a Southampton goal kick.
Like you said, instinctive there. It just kind of, on the half turn, it came up in the air on the volley and he's just swiveled and turned on his right foot and volleyed it, and it's gone well over the bar, but the instinct of him and the confidence he's got, De Bruyne. Difficult to hit the target though, but good effort.
Southampton playing out, got to be a little bit careful. Romeo's closed down by a clutch of light blue Manchester City shirts. Played back to Jack Stevens. Stevens back to his goalkeeper. Bernardo Silva comes across to pressure. McCarthy clears with his left foot and he's forced to knock it out of play. Home wins for Southampton this season. There've only been 4 of them in the Premier League. They've beaten Watford, Norwich, Tottenham and Aston Villa. At the moment, they're leading Manchester City by 1-0. Fernandinho's looking for a ball down the right. No one's chasing it. It's gone behind for a goal kick. And we're heading towards the last 15 minutes of the game.
Pep Guardiola there scratching his head, thinking, what do I do here? I've put my 3 subs on here, try and make a change.
Playing out again, Southampton. Bednarek back to McCarthy. Plenty of light blue shirts around him, trying to nick that ball off him. Shane Long's able to control it and then turn and run at the City defenders. Cutting infield, De Bruyne decides not to make the challenge. It hits Ings' heels, Armstrong shoots. Ederson makes an important save with his legs. That could have won the game. Here's Redmond, wide on the left. Can Southampton find the second goal to try and kill this off? Might not even be able to kill it off with that. De Bruyne goes in strongly. Romeo holds him off. Southampton come down the left with Bednarek. Redmond tries to knock it through the legs of Foden. Ball comes off him. Goes out for a throw into Manchester City. So nearly 2-0. So close.
Great play from Shane Long. He controlled it down, picks it up on the halfway line. He just drives. Kevin De Bruyne, they all step off him and he plays a ball and it kind of ricochets to Armstrong, who hits it on the half volley, but he hits it right at Ederson. Anything to the right or left, and that's a 2-goal lead for Southampton.
15 minutes to play. Karen Carney here at the St Mary's Stadium, watching Southampton leading Manchester City by 1-0. De Bruyne's lost it. Redmond gives it to Armstrong, edge of the area, curling shot. Ederson grabs it with both hands. He knew exactly where that was going, and his feet moved quickly to get in position to make the save. Now, Guardiola on the bench, in terms of attacking talent to change the game, doesn't really have too much. Aguero is out injured, Gundogan not on yet, Stones and Otamendi on the bench, and a couple of kids in Tommy Doyle.
That's why I'm saying potentially, I know Arsenal fans are going to hate me, but Aubameyang, you know, if they've got Champions League, you got him, he can play on the left, he can play up front, he's got pace, he scores goals.
Yeah, City are trying to force it and they're giving the ball away. They've won it back. David Silva sees an opportunity, finds Bernardo Silva in space on the left-hand side. Silva looks up, De Bruyne's lurking on the edge of the box, chests it down, hits it, drags it though, weak shot, blocked easily by Jack Stevens. And here's Cancelo. Nice skill from Cancelo to take it away from Danny Ings. 14 minutes plus added time remaining. Southampton leading 1-0. De Bruyne's cross in, stooping header this time from Stevens. De Bruyne's there again, heads it to his left, finds Fernandinho. Fernandinho, low pass to Zinchenko. Thought about the shot, but plays it wide to Bernardo Silva. Back to Zinchenko. Cross comes in. Foden jumps, beaten in the air by Bertrand. The ball falls to Nathan Redmond. Redmond is going to take on Cancelo. Gets a foot in, does well. And it almost broke to Foden. It's back to Bertrand for Southampton in the left-back position. How much have Southampton got left in the tank to stop City coming at them? Because City at the start of the second half had a real sort of 10-minute onslaught. It quietened down. We've got 2 balls on the pitch, so we've got to restart the game. Throw in for Manchester City. Southampton still leading 1-0. City knocking it around between the 2 centre-backs. Southampton with everyone behind the ball. It's across to Laporte. Laporte wide on the left. Zinchenko has space. Armstrong comes across to try and close that down. It's laid back to David Silva. Silva to Laporte. Across to De Bruyne. Cancelo in space on the right. Foden makes a little darting run into the penalty area. Cancelo onto his right foot. Back to De Bruyne. De Bruyne with his left foot strokes a low pass to Laporte, who comes forward, might hit one, slides the pass in to David Silva in the penalty area. Little ball through, can't find Jesus. Pinging around again. Southampton get bodies in the way. Fernandinho with the drive. What a block that is. Danny Ings in the way this time. Zinchenko rolls one down to Silva. Walker-Peters across, runs in and boots the ball into the stands for a throw-in to Manchester City.
Back 5, that's including McCarthy, have been colossal for Southampton. Put everything on the line, block it here, block it there. They're just adamant they want that clean sheet, and that mentality to win at home is massive for them.
Leicester stuck 9 past Southampton here. They've conceded 33 goals at home this season, but tonight against Manchester City's highly vaunted attack, they have not conceded, and they lead 1-0. And Pep Guardiola is prowling and pacing and brooding and stewing at the moment. 11 minutes to play. City fans, Southampton fans, I want to hear from you on 606 tonight. 08085 909 693, the number to call. Emma Jones and Robbie Savage on the way. Southampton attacking down the right. Shane Long chips the ball into the penalty area. Too close to Ederson. What's he going to do with it? Ings gets in his way just to try and slow him down. Ederson thinks about bowling it out underarm, eventually decides to do that to his left and plays it to Laporte. Cross here to Garcia. De Bruyne comes towards him and says, give it to me. Gives it straight back, though, to the 19-year-old Spaniard, who immediately gives it back to De Bruyne. It goes long and left. Left-footed, floated high ball onto the instep of Zinchenko. Nice pass to David Silva. Across to Bernardo Silva. Walker-Peters in front of him, turns away from him, plays it back to Fernandinho. De Bruyne is making a run. Fernandinho's pass is blocked, so Manchester City will recycle and start again. Just think as well, Kerry, just wonder if they get one, City, whether it completely deflates Southampton and actually City end up getting two and nicking it.
There's still plenty of time for that to happen.
Yeah, Laporte wide left, good ball. Zinchenko at pace, whips the cross in with his left foot deep. Romeo heads it away. David Silva says my ball, gets onto it, wide on the left for Manchester City with Southampton leading 1-0. Silva low pass in, can't find his namesake Bernardo Silva. It's played out towards Shane Long. Long on his own, lots to do, but he's got pace. Oh dear. Kicked it past Laporte, but kicked it straight out for a City throw.
I loved your, oh dear.
Oh dear, that's a shame. I think he probably said something else, didn't he, under his breath, and so
his manager.
So did his manager, exactly. Right, 10 minutes to go, plus added time. Real turn up for the books here. Foden stretching off the bench for Manchester City, playing the 1-2 with De Bruyne. That's clever. Foden then right-footed ball in towards Jesus, beaten in the air. David Silva with the volley into the ground. The ball goes spinning away. It's a corner, isn't it? Corner for Manchester City.
So Armstrong now blocking.
Unbelievable.
Literally, Southampton have blocked. They've been unbelievable defensively today. You've got to give them a lot of credit.
Shots blocked, stats, they will be incredibly high for a Premier League game this season. De Bruyne's corner, headed up in the air by Danny Ings. Underneath it, Fernandinho heads it forward. Jesus making a nuisance of himself at the near post, behind for another corner. So all Bednarek could do was get his body in the way between him and Jesus, and the ball came off him and went behind. 9 minutes to play. Southampton 1, Manchester City 0. Nothing really riding on the game, but there is an urgency. Corner in. No Manchester City player near that. Bednarek heads it away. Back to Foden. Foden side foots it to Cancelo. Ings still busting a gut to get out there and try and close it down.
You know, on those corners, Manchester City know they're not going to win them because they've got 4 players on the edge of the box, so they're already anticipating the second ball.
Foden on the dribble forward, wide to De Bruyne. De Bruyne, good skills, past Redmond. Redmond, though, makes the tackle, keeps the ball in as well. Bednarek's there and knocks it out for a throw. Few people connected to Southampton Football Club, sitting in the little sort of balcony behind us in front of one of the hospitality boxes. Every block, every tackle, every interception is getting clapped behind us at the moment. 7.5 minutes of the 90 to go. Southampton fans will be listening anxiously here on 5 Live. Southampton 1, Manchester City 0. Ederson almost up to the halfway line here. Plays it across to his left and Laporte. Laporte to Fernandinho. Fernandinho across to De Bruyne. Plenty of options ahead of him. De Bruyne brings it forward in a measured fashion. Looks to his left, floats a beautiful ball out to Zinchenko. Little layoff to David Silva. Silva back to Zinchenko on the left. That cross looks slightly overhit. It is all the way through the penalty area to Cancelo. Foden inside the box. Twists and turns. Back to De Bruyne. Another cross in. Jesus tries to win the header. Knocked away. Long and Ings with 2 more headers. And then Garcia plays a short one to Foden. Foden on the dribble again. Finds De Bruyne 25 yards out. Low pass to his left. Zinchenko. Lots of time to pick a man out in the middle. Cross comes in. He can't do it. Stevens heads it away. Comes back to Laporte. Gives it the hammer. And a rising shot goes right over the bar and behind for the goal kick.
Certainly got a lot of power on that strike, but just the accuracy wasn't there. It come out to him. He's probably 35 yards out. Saw the gap and thought, I'm going to have a chance here. And that might be the only way that Manchester City, because they keep crossing the ball and Southampton keep putting everything, heading it away, blocking it. It might be that long-range shots might be an opportunity there, but going to have to hit the target, though.
6 minutes, plus added time remaining. Southampton 1, Manchester City 0. Zinchenko's mistake. Shea Adams, brilliant finish from 35 to 40 yards out, saw Ederson off his line, curled a beauty over him first time, and it is still the difference between the two teams. And Southampton's defensive effort has been absolutely magnificent for a team with nothing to play for, Karen. They're perfectly safe, you know, just looking for the best Premier League finish possible, trying to improve the home record as well. And Manchester City come at them again. Laporte.
They've been really good, you know, Southampton.
Zinchenko trying to curl a ball in behind Southampton. Bednarek sticks to Jesus. Who got the last touch there? I think, was Jesus, because he was chasing hard trying to keep it in, so you knew that by what he was trying to do, and he throws the ball down in frustration. 1-0.
Like you said, you wouldn't believe they've got, in essence, really nothing to play for. The way they've played today, you see Ward-Prowse, come on. You've got to give credit to them, the hunger and the desire to put in this performance, because they haven't had much of the ball. The way they have to go and press and get in people's faces, that's hard work. And sometimes when you haven't had the ball as a player, you think, oh man, I've got to make up this ground, I've got to graft, I've got to do this. It's the standards, and it's doing it for your manager and for your teammates, and that's what they're doing.
Jesus has been booked for that petulant reaction. Just saw Andre Mariner putting the card back in his pocket. De Bruyne is closed down inside his own half. 86th minute of the game now. Southampton 1, Manchester City 0. 6:06 on the way. 08085 909 693. If you've not called the show before, do it tonight. Speak to Emma and Robbie. 85058 on the text. Hashtag BBC 606. Something definitely for you Southampton and City fans to talk about tonight. Southampton leading 1-0. Are their hearts going to be broken late on, like they were at the Etihad Stadium earlier this season by Kyle Walker's goal, which gave Manchester City the 2-1 win? Zinchenko in space on the left, low pass past Foden. Ward-Prowse just desperate to hack it anywhere, knocks it out for another City throw on the right-hand side. Any one of those blocks as well, Karen, that happened during the game could easily ping off someone and go into the back of the net. It's just not happened. It's just, they've got their bodies in the way. They've got the luck that they've deserved.
You called it though. You said, very early on, I think 15 minutes in, is it going to be one of those days?
Here they come again. Zinchenko on the left, low cross with pace, defending again at the near post. Stevens throws his body in the way. It's fabulous from Southampton. 3.5 minutes of the 90 to go. Pep Guardiola, hands in pockets, staring a 9th Premier League defeat in the face at the moment. David Silva up to the corner of the box. Bernardo Silva stretches, controls it, cross comes in, hits a couple of bodies, ball loops up in the air. Foden can't get there. Garcia, got to be a foul that. Garcia was over exuberant in the challenge, barges in to one of the Southampton players. Kyle Walker-Peters knocks him down, and that's a free kick for Southampton.
I think Kyle Walker-Peters, he's done well there, but I think he's earned the free kick, as I would say. He's worked the foul system very well, and he's staying down now. He's thinking, right, give my team a breather. We've been under the cosh now for the last 20 odd minutes. It's just 3 more minutes of normal time. Let's just have a respite, gather our thoughts.
Injury treatment at the moment for Kyle Walker-Peters. Into the last 3 minutes of the game. There's going to be a little bit of added time at the end of the game. Chance for the Southampton players to take a breath here. It's going to be such a big win, an important win for them that will really do them a load of good for the rest of this season, but obviously something to take into next season as well. Next up for them, away to Everton on Thursday. Walker-Peters still down, face down on the turf, and I can see that the Southampton medic with the PPE on his face, just talking to him, making sure that he's got sort of free movement of his neck both sides. He's okay, and he's picking himself up. So they go to Everton, Southampton, then Manchester United. Brighton come here, away to Bournemouth, and at home to Sheffield United. And as I said, Karen, very early on in the commentary, a little bit of history here tonight as well. If Man City lose the game, the first time ever in Pep Guardiola's star-studded managerial career, with Barcelona, Bayern Munich and Manchester City, that he will have lost 3 away games in a row in the league to Manchester United, Chelsea and Southampton. It's never happened before. Could be about to happen here. Lovely skill from Redmond, plays in Ings on the left. Ings ball back to Armstrong. Good touch and turn, trying to tee it up for Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse with the touch still going. It's forced him wide on the right-hand side. Walker-Peters gets the ball back on his feet. De Bruyne chasing him down, trying to win it off him. He's too strong for Walker-Peters. Looking for the ball in field to Jesus. Jesus holding off. Bednarek's gone down, holding his face. Wonder if he's making a little bit of a meal of that. The Southampton players pointing at him, and Bertrand knocks the ball straight out of play. It'll go out for a City throw. They'll have to throw it back to Southampton. I think Jesus probably did catch him. He was desperate to try and get onto the pass from De Bruyne. We can have a look, Karen, on the replay now.
Yeah, he just kind of caught him in the face. It's a good little read by Bednarek there, just stepping in front of Jesus, and that's been what I've said to him about the first half. Jesus got bullied as he's back to play. His hold-up play, he's not very good. It hasn't been good today. And so Bednarek's just stepped in front of him, and he's got to improve, Jesus, in that. For me, he's been poor at that today, and really good defending, and he has caught him, Bednarek, in the face.
Here comes Keith Stroud. 5 minutes of added time for Southampton to hold on to this clean sheet and to beat Manchester City. As I said at the start of the game, £400 million worth of talent in that City starting 11. I know money is not everything, and Southampton will have spent a penny or two on some of the players as well, and 230 million quid on the bench, and Southampton have been good enough so far this evening to deal with it. We're into added time, 6:06 just around the corner. Southampton leading Manchester City 1-0. De Bruyne's flick on finds David Silva. Silva pokes it forward to Fernandinho. Just too many red and white shirts in the way, and Ings somehow still has energy. Running at Cancelo, runs into Cancelo, wins the ball. Foden floating one over the top for Jesus. That's a good ball. De Bruyne's making his way to the penalty area. Jesus taking on Bednarek, and good challenge from Bednarek. Just stuck with him, knocks it behind for a corner.
Had to do well there, because Jesus knew, I've got to get him, Bednarek, in the penalty area, because he can't touch me, because otherwise if he does it will be a penalty. And he just showed him a little bit too much of the ball, and again, fantastic defending. I think him and Stevens have been sensational tonight.
De Bruyne with the corner, good delivery, headed away to the edge of the box. Players down inside that penalty area picking themselves up slowly. Play continues. De Bruyne on the right, prompting pass for Cancelo. Cancelo's cross again blocked at very close range by Danny Ings, who's gone down and hurt himself and stayed down. Ball is cleared away by Southampton. Walker-Peters wants it to go out of play, nods it out of play. Ings is back on his feet. Manchester City throw, trailing 1-0, still trying desperately to get back in this game. De Bruyne, great vision, superb execution, finds Bernardo Silva. Not a great touch from him. Round Stevens. Stevens with the block. Ward-Prowse is behind him, and in that right-back position, he's able to clear it away, only as far as Zinchenko. Tired legs for Southampton now. Man City come pouring forward again. Southampton leading 1-0. Bernardo Silva running across the face of the penalty area. Back to David Silva. Aymeric Laporte jogging forward into the box to try and get himself in position to get on the end of a cross if one's coming. Cancelo with the outside of the right boot, headed away beyond Foden. It falls to Redmond. Redmond just needs to keep this. Darts inside De Bruyne, ball through the middle. Armstrong is chasing. Edison has decided to backpedal. Armstrong has Shane Long in the middle. He can't find him. Zinchenko was back. He read it well, and he intercepts. So City very vulnerable to getting caught on the counter-attack. 2.5 minutes to go, and still trying to find an equaliser in this game. Southampton clinging on. Bernardo Silva floated ball to the right-hand side to Foden. Just about controls it. De Bruyne, chip ball to the far post, hit on the volley by Bernardo Silva, didn't catch it properly, volleys it wide. It's behind for a goal kick.
Oh, that was a good opportunity there. De Bruyne saw Bernardo Silva at the back post, who were overloaded. Southampton, where he just dinked it in. It's a lovely ball, and Bernardo Silva just creeps in, and he's on that left foot on the volley, and he's just a little bit too far. He's stretching out for it, kept his eye on it, just didn't get enough contact on it and saw it go wide, and thankfully Southampton take a breather.
2 minutes to play. City were sparkling and stunning on Thursday night in their 4-0 demolition of Liverpool. They've been sloppy in giving their goal away this evening, and they've been stunted by Southampton's brilliant defending. 90 seconds to play. I think there'll be a little bit more added on to that as well, because we've had a couple of stoppages in added time. Southampton with McCarthy. Now this time he's just happy to clear it long downfield. Bertrand heads it out of play. Southampton want to make a double change late in the game as well, so the clock's going to have to be stopped. Now City have taken the throw in quickly there. The referees let them do it. So Smallbone and Obafemi, a couple of the Southampton youngsters still waiting to come on, but City just didn't allow that to happen, have taken the throw. We're heading into the last minute of the game. 6:06 is on the way with Emma Jones and Robbie Savage. Southampton leading Man City 1-0. Zinchenko on the left. Cross comes in. Oh, Laporte tried to get on the end of it. Ball high in the air. Romeo's underneath it. Nodded out by Ward-Prowse. Controlled by De Bruyne. De Bruyne. Ings comes in for the tackle. De Bruyne keeps it away from it. It's played back to Foden on the right-hand side. Into the last minute of the game. Southampton so close to a really impressive victory over Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. De Bruyne could still hurt them. Rolls it to Foden. Foden to his right, finds Cancelo. 30 seconds to play. Cross comes into the far post. Oh, McCarthy's missed it. Silva lays it back. It's almost stuck in. his own net by Armstrong, and the ball has gone behind for a Manchester City corner. What a dreadful way to concede the equaliser that could have been.
Oh, especially because he's been magnificent, McCarthy. It's the first mistake he's made. The ball was crossed in. He thought, I can get there, and he just didn't. And he nearly got it wrong.
10 seconds to play. De Bruyne's ball in. Bednarek's there with the header. Falls to Foden. Can't control it. Nodded down. Garcia stabs it forward. Stevens up in the air to win a header. Chested down. City clustering around the edge of the box. David Silva goes down on the edge of the box.
Oh, silly foul.
Now this is trouble for Southampton.
Silly.
Challenge on David Silva on the edge of the D. You know who, Kevin De Bruyne, has the ball in his hands, and Southampton have to find some way, Karen Carney, to keep this out of the net.
It's silly from Armstrong. There's enough bodies around there. Don't dangle your feet. Just let the natural defending happen. He's tripped David Silva up, and now he's put his team in a position where Kevin De Bruyne, who is a main man, has got a great opportunity, 20 yards out, in the centre of the goal.
Yep.
Could he equalise potentially with the last kick of the game?
The way his season is going and the way he's been playing, and like you saying, playing with a little bit of anger, this is a real sort of cometh the moment, cometh the man. Zinchenko's there as well. I cannot believe Zinchenko's going to hit this with his left foot. This has got to be
I hope not.
Kevin De Bruyne, and this could be the moment, and this would be so harsh on Southampton if it goes in. Alex McCarthy waits. Tall man, standing on his line, and one of the best players in the world, Kevin De Bruyne, in fabulous form at the moment, sees a wall of red and white shirts in front of them. Could he go round? Could he go under? Can he dip it over and down?
Yeah, he's got to go top left corner, over the wall.
Left corner's the call from Karen Carney. This is the last kick of the game, I'm sure of it. Here we go then. Deep breaths, everyone. Southampton leading 1-0. Here's De Bruyne, right-footed, straight into the wall. Whistle hasn't blown yet. Manchester City are going to get another chance. It comes to De Bruyne. Long's there. Tackles him. It's all over. Southampton have beaten Manchester City. They celebrate profusely, and Ralph Hasenhüttl then actually calms himself down and apologises and remembers he's got to go and have a courteous handshake with Pep Guardiola. But he deserves all of that, Ralph Hasenhüttl, because Southampton's home form has been pretty miserable this season. They took the lead through Shea Adams' goal, which was a wonderful, opportunist finish after Manchester City gave the ball away. And then, Karen, they defended for their lives and did it brilliantly.
Oh, brilliant. It was like it was a cup final for them. Everybody blocked everything, put their bodies on the line. And the manager, Ralph Hasenhüttl, has gone on. He's literally sprinted on, and he's going up to every single one of his players and saying, well done, unbelievable, because the effort, the desire and the hunger to keep the ball out of that box was just sensational from Southampton, and they deserved it today. Man City, again, just weren't at the races, and I tried to think to myself, am I being a bit harsh? Are they tired from the performance? Have they had a lot of games? And I thought, no, they've got £600 million here today, whether on the bench or starting. It doesn't matter. They still can bring a bit more energy and impetus to the performance today.
They had little spells in the game. They struck the post. I think it was Fernandinho's shot. McCarthy made some important saves. There were some brilliant blocks, but you're right, they just didn't have the zip and the pizzazz and the brilliance that they had on Thursday night. And Southampton, like I say, defended resolutely and deserved the win. Only a fifth home win this season in the league for Southampton, but that is a massive scalp. And what a goal for Shea Adams to score his first goal for the club, a really memorable one. A great finish, and it's won the game. It's finished tonight at the St Mary's Stadium. Southampton 1, Manchester City 0.
Karen Carney, have I got the wrong league table in front of me? Because it says Southampton are 13th, but they played like they needed a win to stay up there.
I know, it's incredible. Like I said, it was either it looked like an FA Cup final or something like that, or like you said, they're fighting for relegation. The way they just chase every ball down. And we haven't really mentioned Danny Ings, and it's remarkable. He's got 18 goals this season, but the defensive work that he puts in, the shift and the effort and the energy just to chase everything, every little lost ball, he's back defending, and that's your centre forward and your top goal scorer. We haven't mentioned the back five, and I'm including the goalkeeper. Magnificent tonight, absolutely unbelievable.
He's only just signed a new contract, the manager. All of what we've just seen, in fact, what we've seen since the restart, bodes really well for next season.
Sorry, say that again.
everything we've seen from Southampton from the restart, it just seems to bode really well for next season.
It does, and I think that's what he wants to build on is for next season. That's what you have to do. And even the likes of Che Adams, it hasn't worked for him so far, but if he can get him on a little run going into the end of this season, give him a good pre-season where he's a bit more settled, you've got a player there that suits your system because he chases things down, he's a handful. If he gets a few goals, it's wonderful, and get clean sheets, and also to break this negative duck that they have at home. That's important today. And again, it's about mentality, and they've been unbelievable. I love how now they're getting back to their, since that 9-0 dubbing ages and ages ago now, they've really gone and found their philosophy that got them, that particularly got the manager the job in the first place, where they're organised, they counter-attack, they're quick, and they look very, very fit. And, I think they've done very, very well today and deserve the 3 points.
I guess we should say as well, Ali, this wasn't a Manchester City team on the beach, so to speak. There was a moment when Bernardo had that shot that deflected wide. He just threw his arms up in the air, and I think they just knew this isn't our day.
Yeah, it just felt like that, Steve, sort of early in the second half in particular, where they came out, Pep Guardiola sent them out early with a flea in the ear, didn't make the changes at half-time, gave them 10, 15 minutes to try and do something about it. And again, those were the really important periods that Southampton had to weather. But it's still, Steve, it beggars belief, doesn't it? 9 Premier League defeats for Manchester City this season. I mean, they could easily go on and win the FA Cup and the Champions League, and it'll be an incredible season for them. But for all that talent, it's just another frustrating day. But you're right, they put a shift in. De Bruyne came on, Foden came on, and Pep Guardiola, as ever, when the chances weren't going in, you could see him, going through the agonies on the sideline. So it'd just be interesting to hear what he has to say after the game this evening, Karen.
It's mad though, Ali. You said about how much money is on the pitch and how much money is worth on the bench. And he brought the changes on, and I'm still looking at the bench for another attacking option. Yeah. Then I'm like, crosses are going in, chances, and I'm thinking, if they only had another centre forward or someone different. They're putting loads of crosses into the box, but not many Manchester City players out there are good aerially. So I'm like, well, why are you crossing it? And I know they have to, because that's how good the defence was. That was another option that they had to try and do. But I'm like, for all the money they've spent, there's still that number 9 role. When Aguero's not fit, there's still something missing. Someone tapping in, someone running across the goalkeeper, someone aerially big. It's 600 million out there, and there's still something missing.
Karen, Ali, thank you very much indeed. What a way to end this 5 Live Premier League Sunday. It's a defensive error from Manchester City that gave away the goal. They've been linked with Nathan Ake at Bournemouth. Is he the right person to come in at Manchester City? Fans of all clubs, you've got your opportunity to have your say right now. 08085.